property around it.
Well, let's get this out of the way. Remember the last time we were promised the whole, entertainment district?
Yeah. David Sampson didn't live up to that one. Yeah, we didn't get into that.
There's a lot of empty retail space in those parking garages and around that thing. So
yeah,
I hope they do. I don't think there's anything there right now.
Oh, there isn't?
I don't think
so, I saw
no.
somebody. What I see, some of the commissioner, they moved there. They might have moved over there. They're getting ready to move over there or something. I need to.
I know is
I got to be more well balanced and follow the political stuff.
We need to get you out there. Yeah,
I got to tell you, man, I'm just not. I get some of my guys, and as they get older, they're getting worse, and and they just come over. And I got them when I went to California. I listened to my aunts and uncles, and I go, "Hey, man, you don't have a whole lot of time left. The whole family out there. My family's still alive, as you can imagine, 80 plus." And they just get all fired up reading. I go, hey, man, why don't you just turn that off, man, and enjoy your life? Well, you can't change anything one way or the other. If you're either really happy or you're really sad, or because there's going to be something every day you don't like in politics. And why you sit here and let it affect you, man, and watch more stuff to just piss you off more. So go out and take a drive, man. Sierra Nevadas are right there, man. They're beautiful. Don't ever take them for granted. I did as a kid. I'll never do it again because they are beautiful to go see.
Speaking of taking a drive, they did say if you're flying, if you're watching a game tomorrow, take some extra time because it's going to be a little bit busy out.
I got to tell you.
Out that way.
I ain't flying for a while. There is no plans.
No. After what happened to me.
I don't care if I had a kid getting married. I go, nah, probably not a good time. You might want to change that right now. Well, might be a little bit of an exaggeration there, but so last night I was getting ready to go. I go, all right, man, we're gonna have Paul Maurice on tomorrow, Panthers head coach, and they got a nice win last night. By the way, 2 nice wins actually, Ottawa and Boston, and 2 teams, one fighting for a playoff position, one inside right now, and I was like, okay. See what happens. They got all these guys out, and they get 2 wins. Last night, they get 2-1 win, got off to a fast start again for a second straight home game. And I go, uh-oh, here we go again. Scripps dispute with Comcast Xfinity. No Panthers game. Just one side telling their story, right? Due to differences and disagreement, and anyway, no Panther game last night on the tube. So anyway, yeah, and by the way, it's getting hard. So when the Marlins season started, same deal. Like, oh hell, and so I just barked into the. I still don't know where it is, but I just barked into the audio, and I said Marlins, and pop, the game pops up. But I have no idea what channel it is or where it is. But it's showing up. The games are showing up. My point is, it's getting a hell of a lot harder to find games, and I got a feeling down the road here, it just looks like it's going to start getting more expensive to watch all these games. And by the way, NFL too. The more these apps try to get into the ball game, and they end up, I see now finally the networks of CBS, Fox, doing a little complaining about now you want to redo the contracts again. We just did them. We thought we had a long-term deal. You had an opt-out, and looks like you're opting out, and you're going to stick it to us again, and you're going to leverage that with all these apps that want in. And guess what? If it gets to the apps, you know who's got to pay. You know who's going to pay. We are. We get to pay.
The problem is they're bidding against these gigantic tech companies, right,
yes,
who don't seem to care. It's just at what point do these numbers stop? Like they're in the middle of a deal right now, but I don't know, man. When do these numbers stop going? Like the NFL's greed is unmatched. Like it's just unbelievable.
Well,
how much greed they have.
Roger Goodell's doing his job. His number one job is keep the popularity of the sport up, and with the popularity up and more people watching. And it's by far a slam dunk, the most popular sport in this country. By the way, make sure you hear that before you send a text saying soccer's much bigger in the world. I understand that. But yeah. And so
I know soccer's big, but I don't know, man. The NFL seems pretty big.
No,
in a lot of
not
ways.
around.
The NFL seems pretty big in some of those countries, though.
No. Calm down.
So it's gaining popularity.
There was no don't do that. I appreciate. Don't do that though. I just saw us do it to Madrid, and calm down. Seriously. I mean, I appreciate you saying it, but the NFL's popular one right here, and there are more people watching around, but it's not close.
But at what point does that league say, all right, we're going to stop squeezing our fans, for every single possible penny we can get out of them? They're not going to stop. The teams are making so much freaking money.
And the value of these teams has gone up.
Yeah, what are the Dolphins, $12 billion they're just valued at?
Well, that's the whole thing, though.
Yeah.
Listen, good for Stephen Ross and Tom Garfinkel took that big piece of property and said, oh, we got room for a race, F1 race at that, which is blowing up. And, tennis. We can keep tennis here. Key Biscayne's going to lose it. It might be going to Orlando. And they go, no. We can put tennis courts. We got plenty of space. We'll put in some courts there. And so now they got a really good first-class tennis tournament. So they add these, and then you see what's coming here real soon. We got top concerts. We got a college football team that almost won a national championship. We got an NFL team, and we've got World Cup coming soon. So, they're keeping all these big events here, and that thing is making a lot of money. So the value of that piece, I just say the value of the piece of property. But you're right, the team has exploded, Woody, and all the NFL teams value because of the TV contracts, now the gambling.
It just looks like they don't give a damn about the fans, which I'm sure they don't. But I don't know, man. It just seems like there's just no ever a pause to be like, all right, how can we better this experience for our fans?
Well,
instead of just sticking it to them at every possible.
Well, the one thing they can do here is just give us a better product that wins. That'd be number one.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins specifically, yes. Yeah. But I'm saying in general, that league just, man, it really is amazing how they stick it to their fans every single year with more, paid games and subscriptions, and everyone just keeps coming back for more.
Well, anyway, that's where. Hey, Woody, I got.
It would suck, by the way, if CBS and Fox. I know CBS, I guess, paid, but if these games go off of that over the air thing, that's another one.
Fox and NBC are going to have to make. They're going to have to make some decisions too.
What did they go from $2.1 billion to $3 billion or something?
Yeah, I just read that. We'll have Mike Florio on later
big
on.
Numbers.
But those contracts are going up. You're either in, and if not, hello Amazon, hello
Apple,
Netflix. Apple.
Yeah. A lot of money out there for those companies.
I wonder if Apple wants to get in. Now, they jumped in on the soccer heavy, especially with the Messi deal, but I don't know.
Apple probably doesn't care. What are they, the second, third most valuable company in the world?
There's a lot. So anyway, it was, I was just reminded of it last night looking for a friggin' hockey game. That early 7:00 start to see what it looked like and who was playing. And anyway, Paul Maurice.
I get hit with those all the time, by the way. I had someone the other day tell me I couldn't find the Marlins games.
All you got to do is bark. If you got a TV you can bark into, just bark into your TV.
But I think you also have every subscription known to man.
I probably do. I don't know how to do it, but I'm guessing, yes, my daughters and my wife have put in whatever they watch while I go to bed at 7 and they stay up till midnight and watch games. Watch movie shows. We've got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. We got a lot of Dolphin stuff. Congratulations to Jay Lucas, man. National Coach of the Year from 7-24 last year. And first-time head coach goes 26-9 on the season, including getting a win in the March Madness in the tournament. And then on top of that, hell, they had the lead at the half against Purdue before losing by 10. And so anyway, we try to track him down here. Probably he's at the coaches meeting, so we couldn't get him. But
hopefully next week, because he's up there in Indy with all the coaches.
Well, he's up there, and they're
all late night bonding.
They're up there stealing each other's players and coaches from each other right now. Probably going on a lot of that going on. So anyway, hey man, we got a bunch of news to get to here this morning. We got John Eric Sullivan stuff. I see now. It really is a gutless thing wherever this stuff, if it did happen, that people going after the Dolphins for John Eric Sullivan for deciding, well, for three things. First of all, the Malik Willis thing is still a lot of people aren't sold that was a mistake to give him that money. Why not go with Quinn Ewers? Some of you have said the same thing. I disagree. But anyway, the second one was take the full cap hit on Tua this year. What are you doing? Why are you splitting it up? So he's getting criticized for that. The Waddle trade, we didn't get enough. I saw people in the NFL, unnamed sources were saying they should have got more for Waddle. John Eric Sullivan I saw his comments, was fine and thought it was fair for both sides. Waddle's a really good player, and we like our two picks that we got in the first and third round, and switch fours in there as well. So there's some criticism. Hey, man, go get him, John Eric Sullivan, man. That's my man. You know what? You're always, when you're in that position, and that position has been a disaster here for a long, long time. So he walked in. They kind of left out when they're critiquing the work he's doing to the mess he came into, and the cleanup job that he has to do, and at least having a pair to go out and say, I don't care what you guys think, I think Malik Willis is going to be a really good player, at least like that. I like that he said, and his coach said, we know him. We think he's got a chance. So anyway, and the draft will tell you a lot more coming up here. But, yeah, I'm not going to read it. And I saw all the critiquing and criticizing and ripping of the unnamed sources in the league on everything that the team was doing. Hey, man, they're an easy target right now. It's okay. We know. It's fine. At least we cleaned it up. I know even the ownership's getting ripped and stuff. And, hey, man, I understand.
There's an anonymous bloodbath yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll read you those next segment, but I'm just curious to go back, if you don't mind, the Waddle trade. Like, to me, I'm guessing he did not want to be here and be part of this, right? I'm guessing he voiced that.
Yes, I'm guessing
quietly.
That's the part we haven't heard about, yes.
So don't you think, given that circumstance, they did well?
Well, they had some teams that wanted him. We know that. We know Buffalo tried to get him, and we know Denver wanted to get him. And so I just think nothing's personal with John Eric Sullivan. He just looked at it, and if you got a guy that does want out, and he's going to want a new contract soon again, and he's 27, and John Eric Sullivan said, hey, we're going to move on. We're evaluated everything and made that decision. So
the problem becomes,
I don't know enough about it.
If he wants out, doesn't his value start to take a hit? Because people know, like, you have to trade him. Like that's the problem, right?
So to me, I saw they got a into the first round, 30th pick, and the third round pick. They felt it was. I don't know enough about what you're going to get for Waddle, who, I mean, he's a really good player. I have nothing bad to say about Waddle. I would have loved to have kept him. But if they think, and this is a part that John Eric Sullivan said, they got a great deal because he's really good. Now, the only way it's going to be fair for both sides is I got to hit on these two draft picks. I like that. He's right. You got to hit on number 30 and whatever you might do with 30, because that thing there might be somebody looking to move back into the first round, whatever John Eric Sullivan does. But with those picks, or, the two picks, the first and the third, as of right now, he's got to find two really good players. It'd be nice if he, found skilled position guy and, it just pats him in with some really good football players. And that's the way it's a fair deal. And right now it looks one-sided. Waddle, hell, I see Waddle lining up. I'm going, I think Denver's a team to beat, man. They add him to their passing game. I went, wow, that's a good piece for them. Now, for what we're doing in this rebuilding, we've got two picks, and like he said, we got to hit on him. And John Eric Sullivan knows, and man, he ain't running to hiding from the fact that he's got all those picks in the first three rounds, and he's got to hit on them. All right, we got to go to break, man. We're just getting started. I'll tell you one guy that knows how to work this NFL. We'll talk about him when we come back. There's one guy that is getting maximum potential financially out of this league, man. Holy smokes. We also got some Tiger stuff, man. We find out Tiger, he made his first call, man, when he got in that accident that little crash there. And we'll talk.
What do you call his accident attorney?
No, he skipped the attorney.
Mm.
Nah, he went to the top, man. He went to the very top. That's a wild story. That's the wildest story. All I want to know is he kind of going, hey, I just got off the phone with, hey, was he trying to?
You guys better let me off the hook.
Yeah, was it that? Because he wasn't go, do you know who I am? Because they're going, Tiger, you okay? They all knew who it is.
That's actually the next best thing. Do you know who I am? That might even be better.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's strong. Yeah. Anyway, we got to talk about your South Florida Chevy dealers. Man, I don't want you to miss out this weekend on getting over to your Chevy dealers. 14 dealerships out South Florida. Cars, trucks, and SUVs have never looked better, man, than they do in 2026. Oh, my gosh. I got the new 2026 Tahoe. Man, I love it. It is big. It's comfortable. Thought about downsizing. Chris Atkins, I think, talked me out of it last night. He said, no, you need to stay in that thing, man. It's one of the best we have. It's nice and big. It's comfortable. It's durable. You'll love it, and you'll continue to love it. Hey, I got to tell you, we just went through truck month, and if you missed it, that didn't mean you're not going to miss getting great deals because they're still there for you. The Colorado, the Silverado 1500. I can go through the Silverado HC. It's like we have a Silverado truck. Absolutely perfect for your lifestyle, man. Whether you're working 7 days a week, that's how you make a living in that truck, and you do work extra days to get jobs done, well, you need something durable like you are. Silverado's got that truck for you. Hey, maybe it's a truck that still needs family room and got to be able to get all those toys around on the weekend because you enjoy the water, you enjoy the boat, you enjoy the water, all the other stuff you have in the back there, the wave runners. Hey, man, we want to make sure no matter what it is, from a Corvette to the SUV family to our trucks, man, it's never looked better than it does right now. You got to stop by this weekend. If you're in the market, make sure you put Chevy on that list to stop by for a couple hours. Take a test drive and fall in love this weekend at your South Florida Chevy dealers. All right, welcome back. Happy Friday to everybody out there, man. Thank you for getting up with us this morning. We do have a lot of stuff. Kirk Cousins, maybe the smartest man in the NFL. Somehow Kirk Cousins has figured this thing out. He's gambled on himself. He's played out contracts. He's hit the jackpot. Kirk Cousins, I don't know where you're ranking. He's been a good quarterback. He has. He's been a good quarterback in a league that has a desperate shortage of quarterbacks, frontline quarterbacks. I think we know that. Got another $20 million to go to the Raiders. And it's kind of, this is the new league we live in. So $8.7 million will be paid by the Falcons, who will have paid him almost $100 million over 2 years when they did that whole thing. And they drafted, remember, they got Kirk Cousins and they went out and drafted a guy in the first round. And so Kirk Cousins hit the jackpot, and now he's had a chance after getting released, and that guarantee, a combination of the Raiders paying and the Falcons paying, he'll make $20 million this year. In his 14 years at quarterback between Washington, Minnesota, mostly those two teams, a couple years in Atlanta, as you know, and now Las Vegas, his fourth stop, he'll be at $321 million. That's just football on the field money. That's a smart guy. There's a guy that has figured this thing out and never didn't rush to this. Had some other teams interested, so he got a little bit more money. Whether he starts ahead of Fernando Mendoza or he backs him up from day one, pretty smart. Kirk Cousins, man. I don't know where it ranks, but I'm guessing for a guy that's not considered to be a superstar in that elite club, he's done a hell of a job for himself. He really has. He's made good decisions, leaving when he's had good seasons, and he keeps his value up, man. Teams, again, 3 or 4 teams short this year trying to get him, and he handpicked this one, and we'll see how it works out. And there's a good chance he starts game one. I mean, that could happen if they think Fernando Mendoza, if they want him to sit for a while, if Tom Brady does or whoever's making that final decision, that will be an interesting one.
That team sucks too, so that's the other issue, right? That you don't want to throw, like you don't want a Cam Ward situation where you got the guy running around all over the place, getting killed. The team sucks.
Now, they went out and spent a lot on. They did what New England did the year before. They peppered their team with top-notch free agents. They had a lot of money, and they went out and got. Now, we'll see how good they are. They did go out and get number one center. Starting there, that's a good start for an offensive line that struggled a year ago. And so, yeah, and I think everybody thinks Fernando Mendoza is I think it's the time when we kind of figured Cam Ward was a first-round pick after pro day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just everybody watching him and came back kind of just said, yeah, Fernando's – he's a whole – hey, listen, man, he kind of – his leadership and they just saw how he sucked in everybody on just everything, man, that you look for in what a quarterback should look like going to an NFL city. And Fernando looks like he's got it. He just looks like he's got it. I watched early just they kept the camera on him. I was watching NFL Network. They kept the camera on the guy the whole time. And you saw him talking to the guys and going over, and you could see he knows everybody's name there, and he's talking to guys and getting warmed up and running things like, you know, he'd been around for like 10 years. I was like, hey, man, that's what they're looking for right there, man. So he had this thing figured out. The other story, this Tiger thing comes out yesterday. So we could see the video. You knew that was coming. First, the mug shot. You get the mug shot first, which nobody ever looks good in that mug shot. If you ever see anybody get a DUI or has to go to jail and they get that mug shot, and it usually comes out pretty fast. It never looks good, right? Looks like you haven't been to sleep in like 3 or 4 days, bloodshot eyes. Looks like you've taken every possible drug and had way too much alcohol every time, right? And it's just, look, it's late night, and whenever they take these pictures, you're sitting there, you know everybody's going to see this thing, and it's a disaster, right? So we got to see that. Now the video comes out with a lot of news. And, you know, I saw this stuff coming out, and so everybody knew he's up in Jupiter. Everybody knows Tiger. Hell, it didn't matter if he'd have been in my small town. Everybody, if something happened there, they know it was Tiger. So we find out now Tiger kind of walks away while they're doing this investigation, and he seems like he's fine. And so he gets away from him a little bit, and he decides he's going to make a call. And so, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Call your family or something. He called the president of the United States. He called Donald Trump. I don't know if he's calling for a little help. I would think that'd be the first one, unless you were just like, hey, I wanted to let you know the grandkids weren't with me when I flipped it over. The whole family's safe. Your former daughter-in-law, she's good. Or, I don't know if they had a golf game. He said, hey, I may be out. I just flipped the car over. It looks like I'm going to get arrested and can't play with you over Easter vacation. Not going to be able to get 18 holes in with you. But that's a weird one, man. That was a weird. I wonder what Donald Trump thought. And I get it. Donald Trump has been very open about their really close friends. And he knew right away. So, I'm guessing it did happen. And he said, great guy, just, but he's got some stuff to take care of. And so anyway, that was a strange one. I got to be honest, man. Just when you think you've seen everything, when somebody, and we've seen a lot of like, do you know who I am? And, and people try to buy people off, and you're making a mistake. You're going to lose your job if you get me arrested. And, I get, guys have tried that. Hey, how would you like to have my putter? It's in the back, and it's worth a lot of money if you let me go. All those different things you can do. But he walked away and came back, and the guys go, hey, Tiger, get over. You go, I'm sorry, I'm just on the phone with the president of the United States, not president of one of the companies I work with. Damn, that was a weird one.
He's not going to be held responsible for any of this stuff, right? I mean, I'm guessing whatever, he hired some like elite lawyer, so he'll get out of it. I
don't know what he got. You're putting like
it's just like how many times you can do the same thing. You're putting other people at risk.
He's on his way to rehab in another country. He's going to be able to get the best attorneys, and he'll make out okay. I don't know about letting him drive for a while. I still stick with what I said when this happened as a Tiger fan.
Get a driver.
I don't care if you trust him or not. And by the way, the fact that you can't feel like you can't trust a guy that's driving you around because of whatever you might be doing in the back seat or talking about in the back seat is pretty friggin' sad. Because they're saying Tiger doesn't trust people. He keeps it super private, and I'm super private, bro. You must have a dark side that you can't have somebody. Hell, you ought to hit the guys drive me an Uber. They know everything going on. I mean, you
tell them all your stuff.
Oh, hell, I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to them. My wife's
You got to be careful. Those Ubers got cameras now.
No.
We don't need you ending up on, social media.
No, I'll ask you, hey, where are you from?
Spilled your guts in an Uber.
Hey, can we change the music? Stuff like that. But anyway, that was a strange one, man. The Tiger part 1 and Tiger part 2 of this thing.
He looks rough, by the way, in all those videos. It's actually really sad. But.
Hey, man, I go back to my original thoughts on Tiger. Not that anybody cares, but I think a lot of people agree. I think all these injuries and surgeries he's had, especially when you talk about 4 or 5 back surgeries and Achilles and the body's breaking down. And listen, man, a lot of it he's done to himself, right? Going too fast around a turn and flipping his car over and out in California during a friggin' golf tournament. And I mean, and then this one, I mean, it looks like he got out. He was fine. He was kind of walking around, but yeah, he's banged up. And I'm sure it's hard, man, when you've been as good as he's been in your life. And now all of a sudden you can't get healthy enough to play at that level. Even though he's got all the money in the world, he's worth $1.4 billion, whatever.
Well, I saw it during that clip, the video. He's talking about playing in the Masters.
No, I know, but
he's a competitive dude. I'm sure he wants to do it.
Yeah, he is competitive.
We would have loved to have seen it. I don't know. I don't know what it would have looked like, Joe. Probably not great.
Not great.
I would have. I mean, you gotta tell me, you would. How excited would you be if you knew Tiger was going to be playing in that thing? Even though it's probably going to look bad, but you just be excited about it.
So
It adds a buzz.
my thing would have been, can you make the cut? That's it. It's not. I don't want to hear Tiger say he's going to go out and win the Masters. Like he hadn't played, and he's started to play and get ready, and the Achilles and listen, I just think, and he got real big. I just think he's taking stuff to speed up the process to heal. I think he's in a lot of friggin' pain. I'm guessing because of that, just because I know some other guys that have had, addiction because of painkillers are taken. I think everybody can kind of put the puzzle together of what's going on. The good news is, man, he's getting help. The good news is, outside of talking and the craziness of that day, and he had the hiccups, and by the way, that thing was damn near a lead story last night, right next to the spaceship and next to the what's going on in the war. Outside of that, man, Tiger is right there at the top of the list on national news, and they got that video, and everybody got to see it.
Yeah, it was one of the most polarizing, biggest celebrities we got in this country.
I just hope whoever's close to him, I hope he honestly, and it's not a shot, I just hope he never drives again, because he doesn't have to. You can buy all the Escalades. They'll probably get them for free if you just do commercials for him to give you all the cars you want. But just find some. There got to be somebody you trust.
He's got to have a crew of people, doesn't he? Like an entourage or something. Everyone's got one.
No, man.
Like the inner, like LeBron's got the inner circle.
They're saying
some people around.
They're saying he truly does not trust anybody. That's just got it. That just tells me there's some dark side stuff going on when he's in the back seat. And I don't mean,
well, look what he,
whatever he's talking about, or
the first time all the stuff went down, look at all the secrets he was hiding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Anyway, kind of weird, man, as one of the great, and, everybody brought it up again last night in the news, one of the most recognizable superstars we have, if not number one, right there at the top, and not just here, but around the world. Everybody knows.
He's first name recognizable, Tiger. Right? You say Tiger.
Oh, no, man. Yeah. Tiger. Tiger. He's a tiger. Hey, speaking of all that, man, we got Recovery Unplugged for stuff like we're talking about right now. If your mental health needs a little comeback right now, it happens, man. It just happens. It happens to people, whether you lose a job or your wife walks out on you, and and it's crushing. You get crushing news and you find yourself depressed for a zillion different reasons. And sometimes you just can't get out of it by yourself. Sometimes you need some help to get back on the road, as we used to say. We're all playing together. If you need a little help, man, I got to tell you, Recovery Unplugged and Dr. Barry, they can do it for you. Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is here to help you with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Make this the year you put yourself first. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you, Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Lock.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on fire.
Hey, welcome back there, Pitbull. Nice to be with you this morning, and a lot of stuff going on. The owners' meetings are over. We'll talk to Mike Florio a little bit later on, who spent some time with Miami Dolphins head coach and general manager. Speaking of general manager, hey, I'm sure John Eric Sullivan probably knew this was going to happen. I always love unnamed sources in the NFL, and to think that other NFL front offices are worried about the Miami Dolphins and what they're doing and critiquing them. Because, listen, man, everybody's trying to get better except Seattle. They figured it out. Everybody's trying to get to there. But there's a lot of criticism out there that came out in some stories yesterday. So the team, and listen, John Eric Sullivan's the general manager. He's getting blasted for signing Malik Willis. I like the fact, and we all thought that might be their guy, and it was. And they knew it wasn't like last-second decision. They kind of opened up that we had a pretty good feel about this going back to when we both ended up getting a job here, that was a really good option for us with a guy that has a chance to be a franchise quarterback. Hey, I'm not taking shots at Quinn Ewers. I think they looked at that and probably didn't feel the same way, even though they're talking about competition and all that stuff. Second thing, they're getting criticized because they didn't take the full cap hit on Tua, which, boy, I'll tell you what, that sounds right at a top of a front office somewhere worried about that one. As there are two choices: clean it all up right now and take a bigger cap hit now, or take less and give you a little more breathing room for what they're doing right now, including getting Malik Willis, or paying it all off in just a 1 year and he's off the books instead of the 2 years that they're going to do to get Tua completely off the books for his contract. Third thing was coming out is the Waddle trade. And now people are coming out saying they didn't get enough. And the front office, not fans. I mean, fans, we all have, agreements and disagree. Hey, look at it. In a perfect world, I would have kept a few guys that they had to get rid of if we didn't have all this dead money that had to be cleaned up. It just had to be cleaned up. I wish they'd bring that up when they're critiquing John Eric Sullivan on some of the moves that he made and what he's doing. And he explained it and said, no, you didn't get enough for Waddle. Okay. Well, I thought we did. I is in John Eric Sullivan. Said we got a first-round pick, and I got a third-round pick. I switched forwards, but I like that. And they got a real good deal. Denver got a really good player that's proven, that's done really good things in this league. And if I draft well, it's going to be good for us too. He's right. He ain't hiding. I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy that's taking early ownership of the draft and saying, I know everybody's going to be watching to see how my first draft looks and how I do, especially with those top 7 picks that we have in the first and second and third rounds, the 23rd of this month and the 24th of this month. Big, not to mention even your 4th and 5th and 2 7s that you have. But I just okay, so people are making a big deal that an unnamed source came out.
Well, that story may not even be real, Joe. Maybe it's just the guy giving his opinion. And I mean, how is anyone going to know?
You're not. You're not.
Don't know who said it. Don't know where it came from.
People, I mean, if you want a dog pile, John Eric Sullivan knew he got into a mess. I mean, I've been saying this since those guys got the job. I'm glad they're here, but they walked into a mess.
Yeah, they've been here like a month, though. You got to give them a shot.
But when they walked in, they had to quickly evaluate what they have that goes with their game plan and what they want to do. And second of all, they had to sit there and meet with the cap like, all right, how bad is this cap? So Brandon Shore and his staff sit down and go, this is what we've done. I know it's not good. Yeah, it's not good. It's a problem. But we got to flip it around as quickly as we can and start building something right away and try to win some games while we're doing it. And we got to be real honest and kind of let our fan base and the media know what we're doing and what we plan to do. And not everybody's going to like it. not everybody. I spent about 30 extra minutes at Bo's luncheon yesterday talking to these guys. Really knowledgeable Dolphin fans, these three guys. I ended up staying like the whole place was gone. And we are just talking about all these things. And because they go, hey, what do you think of these guys? And they really like them too because they're straight shooters. I go, yeah, I like them. I don't know John Eric Sullivan at all. I know his father, who was a great guy. Loved him as a receiver coach here. Loved him. Talked to him almost. I probably talked to him as an assistant coach as much as any guy almost that I can ever remember down here in the world of coaches, being around us. But I don't know John Eric Sullivan that well. I know Coach Hafley a little bit. But, they got a mess they're working in, man. And this is the way you clean it. This is the way they would do it. This is what they learned in Green Bay. Whether you can call it the Green Bay way, I don't care about all that stuff, and but we got a hit, and I'm guessing run the draft the way they did. A lot of stuff he picked up in Green Bay and liked. He's been really involved in it, and here we go. So these articles that come out to me are a bunch of bull. You know what? Like, okay, you dogpiling now? Weak. And by the way, I don't think John Eric Sullivan really cares. I truly don't, man. He's got enough stuff and getting ready for the draft and trying to figure out and maybe even having some guys come in that he's really not interested in to kind of show some smoke screens. I think they know how to play the game, man. I think they've got this thing pretty well figured out.
How could you care though, man? Again, like we don't know these quotes are first of all if they're even real, or second if they're coming from the guy who sells hot dogs. Like, you have no idea where these things are coming from.
Hey, man, honestly, it could be disgruntled people. It could be, and because they're taking shots at, at the top two and saying, hey, it's going to be hard for John Eric Sullivan and Coach Hafley to have a lot of success because it's been dysfunctional in other parts at the top. And,
hey, put this out there if you don't mind. Anonymously, though. I don't want anyone to, trace this back to me. Come on.
What?
In the middle of what are we, the middle of this dead period? Like,
yeah.
I get it, man. People are searching for stuff right now.
No, they are. And along with, it's a great time you can pick your favorite player and who you'd like to see the Dolphins. And now everybody's into mock drafts and likes to do their own mock drafts and, guard tackle or, pass rusher, wide receiver, cover corner. Matter of fact, make that 2 pass rushers, or let's get 2 wide receivers. Let's sneak in a tight end in there. Hey, what about a safety, Joe? They're important too. And you're right.
They even teed off on Stephen Ross.
Oh, he's going to take heat.
An anonymous NFL exec on Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins front office. Problem there is that they have an absentee owner and some really empowered people in the front office, including their president. If you're a GM, it's a tough situation.
All right.
I mean, is it? I don't know.
I would say right now for John Eric Sullivan, he's not.
He inherited a mess, but it seems like they're letting him do what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think when he got this job, they said, hey, do what you got to do. Let us know what we can do for you. But
what do you mean by absentee owner, though? Like, that's the other thing I don't get. Like, what do you want, Jerry Jones? Stephen Ross, yes, he's picked the wrong people, no question. But at least he picks football people and lets them do their thing. He stays out of the way.
Yeah.
Why do you want Stephen Ross around making decisions?
I think the thing with Stephen Ross through the years is people get frustrated with some of the people that he talks to when he makes decisions.
Yeah, he's had a lot of wrong people around him. There's no question. But at least what he's doing is the right, in theory, is the right way, right? Bringing in football people, letting them handle it.
This is the first time that we cleaned it up from the outside. It's been a long time since we've done this. I mean, we stuck with our GM for 9 years. No, I'm just saying. I'm not. I mean, I have to bring that up. That's all.
You're right.
Anyway, hey, we got to go to break. We got 7:00 hour coming up here. And I get the frustration, man. I know one more person tells me you haven't won a playoff game in 25 or 26 years now. I know up close. I do. Big Bo said something. He told me yesterday afternoon again. He goes, where did last year rank for you? I said it was the most frustrating year, and I can't remember 1-15, but at least I had some guys around that I really enjoyed, Zach and Jason and those guys. But and I go, no, this was by itself. This was brutal. And I go, yeah, it was. It was a rough year, man. So anything fresh they're doing, I'm all in as a big cheerleader. Now I got my cheerleading outfit on for John Eric Sullivan and the coach and the staff. And when I see them, I'll go whatever colors they want. I'll wear my moo-moo. I got the moo-moo ready to go in all colors, man, ready to go. Hey, right now I want to tell you about hurricane season, man. It's right around the corner, and I just want to make sure that you take advantage of, we got a company out there, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, that love to do the work for you. They have impact windows, hurricane category 5 rated, withstand 140 mile per hour winds. Loctite Impact Windows and Doors and Roofing provides 100% financing, 0 down. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, no interest, no payments for 1 year. How about that? How about that for saving some money for 1 year? And if you need a new roof, hey, they got it all. Tile, shingle, metal flat, they do it all. Whatever. Got a great group over there doing the roofing part. Impact Windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. They do it all, man, for you. They cover all South Florida, number one. Number two, they take care of all the permits for you, the HOA approvals. They do that. You don't have to sit around and get stressed about that. They'll do it all for you. You turn it over, you sign that contract, and they are off and working, man. It's a true turnkey service for you. I'm telling you, Loctite's an Impact is a licensed and insured contractor, ready to make sure you have a great experience and get it done the right way, the fast way, so you're ready for hurricane season. You never know when the big guy's coming, man. You never know. Don't wait for the next storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com, or call 954-500-LOCK. Remember, they got a great staff ready to answer all your questions and get you started.
Over to baseball, the Marlins will be in the Bronx to begin a 3-game series with the Yankees. Today's first pitch is at 1:35, and the game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes will begin a 3-game home series with Virginia Tech tonight. Their first pitch is at 7 from Mark Light. In college hoops, Jay Lucas was named National Coach of the Year. Lucas led the Canes to a 26-win season in his first year. Finally, in soccer, Inter Miami will open their new stadium tomorrow when they host Austin. We got basketball tomorrow night, Joe. We got basketball tomorrow afternoon here. Final Four action.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, Woody. Sports, man. They're not sleeping these days. We've got a lot of things going on. Before we get into this 7 o'clock hour here on a Friday, sometimes through the years, I went to Kim Bocamper's luncheon, had a luncheon yesterday, and I went, and he had Bob McAdoo as a speaker, as a guest speaker, come join him. And I had to, it's the first time I've known Mac for a while, since he's been around down here, and he's always been great with us, always been great with the media guys, and one of the great players in the NBA, kind of forgotten with everything, because the older crowd there knew how good Mac was, and his different stops, and how good he was coming out of North Carolina. I mean, he's a phenomenal scorer. He was Kevin Durant, man. Just to give you an idea, he was scoring machine, 6'8", 6'9". I'm not sure how tall he is, but he told stories yesterday that were just unbelievable. That makes 2 guys now, because we did that thing. Woody, I think you were there for the Baptist Health event with Alonzo Mourning. I tell you what, if anybody ever invites you, and you listen, usually guys are going to show up are pretty good at this, and they get the stories, and they're really good. And of course, Bob McAdoo, just the background of when he played and the guys he played against, and I mean, he saw them all. I mean, Mac is, I think he said he's 74 years old, Bob McAdoo. And so you're 74. He was just out there and got honored with the Pat Riley group out in L.A. So Mac was out there for that and talked and played, came off the bench on those championship teams with Magic. And he's been a scoring machine before he got there. The guy got up in the morning, got 30. He was ready to go. And just the story of playing in the late 60s, early 70s, and just great stories. Unbelievable just to hear him, and the new game, and all the guys he played against, and talking about all those teams from Celtics to 76ers, and even Washington, how good they were, and mentioned all the guys and playing against them, and just great. And Alonzo, when we had that event with with Dan Marino was there the day with
it was Marino.
Alonzo.
Glenn Rice was
and
there.
Glenn.
Yeah.
I tell you what though,
well, Alonzo is one of the best public speakers I've heard.
He is phenomenal. I got to tell you,
his story is incredible.
Mac's story just goes back during a time where black players were on these campuses for like the first time. And I played with some guys that were some of the first classes at Alabama and played for Bear Bryant. Listen, man, that's unbelievable. Like they're hearing those stories. I mean, I grew up in, California, where, a different time, and, in the 70s there was different. It was a peace movement and love movement, and, little different, and special drugs and all that stuff. Man, in the South, it was a different deal. And so to hear even Tony Nathan, and I always think of Tony first, because Tony was a black player that went to an all-white high school, and he's got a movie out. There's a movie out that Tony was a big part of. I mean, it was based off his story, he and his wife, and man, just unbelievable. But the things they had to say about their head coach, how great they were when you walk on campus for a recruiting trip, and you don't see other black students or anything, and they want you to come play there. It's awesome. It's great stuff, man. It was a history lesson. It's just so good. And then, with Alonzo, you get different kind of stories a little bit later on in times. But my God, man, he talked about the great players, great stories about Shaq. He was here for, the Shaq run, D Wade and all that stuff as a coach with Pat Riley. So I just tell you, man, it was just I'd have paid $50 for that ticket to sit there and listen to those stories. It was just so good. So if you ever get a Bob McAdoo, and some of you probably have had the Bob McAdoo or Alonzo Mourning experience, but it's pretty damn special. I just haven't seen UD because he's another one that's really good at these things. But they're good guys, man. What a good guy. Took pictures with everybody yesterday, and not in a hurry. Just amazing. Just great stuff. So I wanted to thank him, man. When you get something special like that, you want to share it with people, especially growing up and watching him play as an NBA junkie, and thought maybe someday I was going to be my favorite Golden State Warrior player. Anyway, besides all that, man, we got a lot of stuff going on, plenty to get to. We got football news. We've got everybody back from the owner meetings, and now it's 100 miles an hour getting ready for the draft, which is less than 3 weeks away now. And we'll see towards the end of the month, 23rd and 24th and 25th, 3 days of the NFL draft. And, of course, the Dolphins with a lot of picks in the first 3 rounds, man. So we'll see 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 4 in the third round. There is also word out there that the Dallas Cowboys are making a hard charge at Jordan Brooks. They need a linebacker, and they've got him on top of the list. I'm going to say it again. I hope we keep him. He's 28 years old. I hope we keep him. I hope we can work something out and keep the guy here. Not only because he led the league in tackles, and he's a physical player, but last year he was leader of that team. When they huddled up before the game, if you're looking in the middle to see who the guy was yelling and screaming and jumping in everybody's face, it was your linebacker Jordan Brooks. I hope we keep him. And now people are saying, what do you think? Dallas saying, what if Dallas gives us the 92nd pick? You know what that is. We got those 90 picks, another third-round pick. And we know those guys like the first 3 rounds a lot. Hell, I do too.
You only have so many picks, though, Joe. I mean, at some point, it's like.
Well, I hope they've seen enough and go, you know what? Let's go ahead and we.
I just hope these guys can draft, man.
Well, we're
gonna find out real quick, right? We're gonna find out in a few few months here, but.
You know what? By the way, I got to promote somebody else. Alan Poupart did a real nice job, and I appreciate it because it saves you time. Went back and looked at the drafts going back to 2018. I think they're all at Chris Greer. They're all at Chris Greer.
Yeah, but
I'd
like to forget that stuff.
No. But just going back to get an idea, and we won't know how good this draft is for a year or two. Hell, I can't tell you how good last year's draft is yet. I mean, truly. You can't go by 1 year and go, all right, I already know last year's draft's not very good. No, you got to wait and see.
Still like to see guys in the top 3 rounds make impacts.
Yes.
Right. I get a late round pick. Maybe it takes a little bit, but man, first round, second round, third round, like those guys should be playing, making impacts.
I'm with you. I want those guys playing in September. And by the way, they will.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, well, they got a lot of free agents on,
the cheap free agents,
but
they need bodies over there. Yeah.
I'll just tell you, I appreciate you're their first free agent class, but I got to tell you, the young kids are going to get every chance. The first draft class goes on the resume of every general manager, just like Alan Poupart did. If you look at him some of them, his best draft by far, Chris had by far, was his first draft.
Mm-hmm.
First draft, if you go back and look at it, to me, it was by far the best. And it wasn't where we had the most first round and second round picks. It was just a really, really good draft of guys. So Alan, thank you, man. That was good having him out there. He ranked he ranked the classes of what they got the most out of. A lot of them are still really good players. They're just not playing for us. Got second contracts and went somewhere else. Which, by the way, some of that falls on the general manager too, for vision and not being able to sign guys before they max out on how good they are. But hey, some of them end up being good decisions at the same time. The Christian Wilkins one's a crazy one. We all wanted him, and I don't know what the hell happened to Christian Wilkins. Somebody asked me yesterday, what's going on with Christian Wilkins? I said, I don't know. I'm sure he got plenty of money from whatever the Raiders had to pay him on that second contract. It was a lot of money. It wasn't like $90 million. I don't know how much it was guaranteed, and they might be fighting some of it because the Raiders are known to fight if they're not happy on the guaranteed money. If they think they've got a way out, they'll take it to try to hold on to it as long as they can. I don't know what happened, man. Christian Wilkins we had here was sure good. The Christian Wilkins we had would clearly be the best defensive tackle you have with Sealer. But I don't know, and I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know if he'd ever consider coming back here. No idea. Isn't that the weirdest thing of a guy that disappeared? Where is he now? Christian Wilkins. It's crazy. Just
we have
crazy,
a handful of those guys.
Crazy story. We do have some of those guys.
Who was it? So recently someone had an article about Deion Jordan who popped up somewhere.
Yeah. I believe
Is that Dave?
Dave Hyde wrote an article. He got a head coaching job.
Yeah.
How about that one?
They're like a high school, though, or something, right?
A small college, right?
Small
college. I think he's at a small college program, but
that was an interesting one. It's like, where are they now? And Deion Jordan popped up.
Oh, boy, his story to his players.
Yeah. By the way, it's actually nice to see him doing well because he was not a mean-spirited dude.
Never was. Didn't have a bad bone in his body. Maybe almost to a fault.
little too nice for that position.
What
did they call him? The next Jason Taylor?
That was Jeff Ireland that got carried away on all that stuff. Yeah, he was good. No. He didn't say Jason Taylor. Is that what you just said? The next Jason Taylor?
Isn't that what he called him?
No. He used another guy when he told Jason. He said, I think he's got a chance to be, and he never said Jason. He said he's got a chance to be like some guy on another team. Didn't matter. He ended up not being any of them.
No.
So,
but he was a nice guy. Remember when we interviewed him his first day
I know.
here?
I forgot we were together, but we both walked away going, man, he's
a nice guy.
So happy to be here. And by the way, he looked the part. Big, long body. And you're going, my God, Jeff Ireland, maybe he did know something.
Remember he popped up, I want to say, on Seattle? He was on another team.
No, he played for some. He went back to the Bay Area and played for.
Did he play for Seattle for a minute?
I think he went back home. He's a Bay Area guy out from San Francisco area.
But man, you talk about whiffs.
Well, a couple guys gave him a chance on his potential because he did have that. It wasn't physical. Problem was not physical. With a lot of these guys, man, I've been beating this up because we're guilty here. A lot of it's not the physical talent. There's the elevator doesn't go to the top floor though, and it's got to go to the top floor. It's got to get up to the head, and if it stops at the shoulders and doesn't go all the way up, you got a problem. And we've had 4 or 5 of those, and I'm talking about first round picks and 1 second round pick. The elevator never went to the top floor, so you got to get teased a little bit in practice, only to find out there were demons at the top. And I'm sorry, that falls back on scouting and the front office. It just does. That's my take. It just does. When that happens and the guy gets there and you go, did we?
But the amount of time they probably spent on someone like Deion Jordan is like that. That's the alarming part.
All the scouts,
right?
All the scouts and people that were involved, when you whiff that badly, I'm not trying to be mean, should be fired.
It's one thing if the guy doesn't translate over physically,
no, physical
that stinks too. But like if
that's
the guy's
not the problem.
The guy's a mental case, and we had a few of those, man. That John Martin thing
I said 4 or 5.
Too,
I'm trying not to get into everybody's name. I'm trying to be nice here. It's Easter weekend. I'm trying to be somewhat nice here on a Friday. I had somebody call me, a Christian friend, said,
really?
Hey, can you try to be nice tomorrow?
So you're going to go in on Sunday and ask for forgiveness? Is that right? You sitting there and you're going to ask, you can be like, I've been ripping a lot lately.
No, you've been a little negative.
You want me to go in?
No.
I don't think I'm
do that. You can do whatever. You can do whatever you want. You're not. You don't have to do it. All right, we got to go to break here. Don't start getting into the religion thing on me today, please. Stay away. I don't want anybody mad. We got Easter coming up here. I'm going to go see my man, Father Ed. Give him a big hug. Father Ed, if I see him, I might give you a big hug, man. So be prepared. Have my best cologne on for you. Hey, man, I got to tell you here, early 7 o'clock hour, man, chill zone. Oh, my gosh. If it's going to start getting really warm here, as everybody knows, it lives down here. And through the years, I do know this because I get a lot of phone calls that people aren't happy with the air conditioning companies that they've gone with. The service was bad. I got run through the list. I was told I need a new air conditioning unit. It's only a few years old, and I had somebody else come out and they fixed it. And so, yeah, I understand that. And how about when they tell you they're coming out and they don't come out that day and you wait all day there waiting for them to come? How about that? Or how about they just don't know what they're doing when they come out? That's another problem. Well, if you're going through that right now, I want to just tell you about the president over at Chill Zone Air Conditioning. I'm talking about Melissa De Verona. She's a president. She takes the calls every day, and I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever heard, to think the person that owns and runs the company actually, when you call during the day, is going to answer the phone and take care and set everything up. I also love the experience she has on every one of the trucks that goes out every day in South Florida. They cover all of South Florida. They serve Dade and Broward County. And I love the fact. So whether it's installing a new air conditioning unit, fixing, servicing the one you have, duct cleaning, or anything else, I want you to call if you're ready for a change. And you can talk directly to her, man. You right to the top. Nobody gonna be hiding. It's at the top. You take care of it. I don't want to deal with people. No, that's not Melissa. She wants to help you. Chill Zone AC. Go to chillzoneac.com. Remember, here's the number, 786-378-2778. Tell them you heard it right here when you were listening to QAM at 104.3. That's chillzoneac.com to get more information and stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning this summer. Friday to everybody, man. Coming up on Easter weekend. A lot of stuff going on here in sports and Final Four and basketball. And we've got a lot of congratulations, by the way, to Jay Lucas, National Coach of the Year. Last year, the team was 7-24. Jay Lucas, his first year, team has turned it around and goes 26-9. And so congratulations. Good stuff for first time head coach. So great stuff. And he's at the coaches meetings right now, which are going on while they're having the Final Four. They get all their business done right there.
Yeah, that thing's wild. I get to see that when we went up there in 23. But whoever's picking the coaches over in Coral Gables doing a decent job, huh?
Yeah, they
Big Joe,
Big Joe, man. Big Joe was
a home run.
Joe's a proud president. I started to say proud father. He's a proud president right now on the way things have gone so far. Hey, but I will tell you one thing. I don't know. I knew those owners' meetings were going on. I was thinking, this is a chance for all the guys that know other guys are tampering and they whine all year about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a chance for all of them because it's bad in basketball.
That coach.
It's a chance. Yeah. It's a chance to go, hey, how you doing? Because you're gonna run into a guy and go, hey, you stole my guy, bro. I know what you did. You stole him. Because you're salty. There are guys there that didn't have good years. You're going, you took my player. He was in class and you called him? Really, dude?
The problem with that, though, is like you go back to that South Florida coach who was screaming and yelling about stealing his players, but he left. I mean, he's gone. You can steal the coach, you can't steal the players, though, right?
He got a little bum in him today. I know.
Yeah.
I know I get in trouble for the bum, but he got a little bum in him today.
Well,
that's a
little
little bum
Wednesdays, but you do a bum Friday. But like, it's just so hypocritical, man. Like, you scream and yell about people stealing your players.
And
like,
I
want them all back. We're a good team here. But, you know what? These people offer me more money. I'm going to leave.
Hey, sometimes you get on the old podcasts and stuff, and you just go.
It sounded great.
It sounded good.
It was awesome at the time.
If he does, I'm going to fight him if he takes my guy. Yeah. He knows that. I just want to let you know. I got good players here, and meanwhile, he's taking his players. Did he take any guys yet?
It might be a little too soon for that, but I mean, I'm guessing, yeah. Well, look what happened with
his
the football coach.
Yeah,
he's got the whole friggin' team over there.
Yeah. I'm sure Brian thought he was going to be able to keep all those guys, and now he's going, damn. Got a little bigger budget at the school he went to.
Brian's got to, Heartline's got to be like, well, we want guys that want to be here,
Oh, no, you have to. Hey, I'm sure he's looking at Ohio State guys that aren't playing like, hey, bro, you ain't playing. You ready to come home? You ready to come play? Right? That's what I'd be doing.
Give us a year, yeah.
A lot of guys go to all these schools. We always talk about the guys are great. How about the guys that are going, I ain't playing here, and I was a 4-star or 3-star, and, hey, I'm going someplace I can play. And Heartline goes, you can play here for me.
I mean, just look at the school here. Miami's got how many quarterbacks on that roster right now?
It's a part of the football team right now that I know they know this. They're not stupid. Why Mario's talking about all that competition. They are overloaded at a couple positions. They know there's going to be some guys that leave. And if they don't,
they're not going to play.
The running back room is packed.
Yes. The receiver room seems very crowded.
The wide receiver
seems crowded.
The wide receiver position is packed. You got transfer portal wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
we know the guy. We know guy from Duke's going to play.
He's going to play. I'm guessing Malachi will play. But
are you joking?
At the quarterback thing,
Malachi's calling the plays.
Assuming Mensah is able to stay healthy, he's going to start every single game.
Who?
Darian Mensah. Like, he's going to be their starting.
Yeah, but what's that have to do? We're talking.
Healthy,
I know, but we're talking about the receivers. I'm telling you, all these receivers, they got young kids that are really good that probably should get a chance to play. And they loaded up on the transfer portal. And
do you stick around for a year and hope it works out?
Not every guy's going to stick around.
The problem is they're going to reload.
Not every guy's going to stick around.
No.
Some guys are. And so those are the guys that end up, South Florida's up there going, come up here, man.
Go right across town, FIU.
Come up here. By the way, probably a quarterback, too. You keep hitting this transfer portal on the quarterback, and You know, the next guy up that thought he was going to be the next guy is like, okay, now I've been here 2 years. I'm out of here. Am I the guy or not? So, yeah, all that stuff comes into play. But, man, it's
it's a good problem to have, but you're also not going to have that, that green tree competition that you had back when Michael Irvin was playing. Well, guys are not going to stick around and just, battle for position.
That competition thing is good. It is. When guys are close and you're trying to get playing time, I think it's still great, and it should be about that. But the problem now is guys get paid. And if you're paying a guy $800,000 or $900,000, you're not bringing him there to sit on the friggin' bench. You're unless he's really bad.
Yeah.
And then you can't play him if he's really bad, but you hope you're not. You hope you're on top of your game. But guys aren't going to stay around, man. They got options. They're all 1-year free agents now. They're all 1-year free agents to take off. That's not going to change. By the way, on this thing, I want to make sure that everybody understands this thing, and just it was a little history lesson. It's not a big deal that some of these guys that we've had, specifically first round picks and a second round pick, who was the first guy taken for us in the year we didn't have a first round pick. I'm trying to do this and not say names. Those can't happen. They all have talent. I get why they're all taken where they were taken. It wasn't like, hey, I had no talent. No, it's not. It's the elevator doesn't go to the top floor to give them a chance. Physically, things don't work if that brain doesn't work up top. If it doesn't work the way it should as a competitive athlete that you're going to spend that much money on, let me tell you, signing bonus for a first and second round pick in the NFL, they get a lot of friggin' money up front. You got to give yourself a chance. Injury, that's going to happen. A guy gets injured and takes a terrible injury. Those things don't happen in the NFL. I put that in a different category. But when guys all of a sudden start getting suspended, go AWOL, we could write a small book on 2 second-round picks right off the top I can think of. And I can think of 2 or 3 first-round picks that we've had. Then those things they can't happen.
So Jamie and I were talking about this during the break here, and it's like, how do you really know? Because like we were talking about, we sat down with Deion Jordan, and he seemed to have a good head on his shoulder.
I know, but
we were there for 10 minutes with him,
right.
Granted.
It's not my job.
They spend, how many people are employed full-time making big salaries, and how much money do they spend traveling and watching and talking to these guys? And it's a full-time deal.
So the first thing is, if you're just going in and nothing against Mario or anybody else, but you can't just go in and talk to the head coach. You just can't.
I don't even know that talking to the head coach is valuable anymore, because they're not going to – what are they going to say?
They're going to say great things about every guy, because by the way, the first time they say something negative.
And that leaks.
And that spreads out.
The anonymous GM comes right? We get that anonymous
somebody badmouths
source.
It, and all of a sudden parents see it and go, man, he ain't going there.
Could you imagine?
So you got to stay. I understand. So when they come in, they don't tell you, but there are a lot of other people in that program that you can get off the side and talk to people to get, hey man, that's your job. I'm not sitting here trying to come up with a game plan how they can prevent it, but they know. They know how to do it. And again, you want to take a chance on a guy that's got some demons and he's got ridiculous talent and he's a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick. To me, that's different. That's different. Or bring him in as an undrafted guy with a bad rap. And if it doesn't work, you cut him right away. But that's hard to do when you get a guy in the first round or second round with the amount of money you're paying him, especially that first round pick. Those sting, especially when you move up and you give up a top pick to move up a little bit. Those sting a little bit. Yeah, I tell you what's not stinging, man. We are flying here on a Friday. Got a lot of. Well, I tell you what though, the Tiger first call, that just dropped the mic. That's all time right there. Tiger come out. The Tiger video came out from the crash, and first call he makes, gets away, calls the president of the United States.
Is that a D-bag move or no? Where do you weigh in on that one?
So I'm guessing he made the call hoping he'd get a little help. Right? Let's be honest. He can't go, do you know who I am? Because they all know, hey, Tiger, sorry about this. You got your clubs in the back. You need them?
Well, yeah, he already got done telling him he wanted to play in the Masters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So they're asking him, hey, listen, the guys were handled it the right way. You don't think they're under a little bit of a microscope on how they handled everything. Yeah. So anyway, so they, they're going through it, but he comes back, I just got off the phone with the president. And it was like, okay,
What's
great.
the officer going to do? Oh,
I know
you're free to go, sir.
No, well, it was like, hey, Tiger, we already know you're with Junior's ex-wife, man. Everybody knows that. I mean, that's everywhere, man. You know, hanging around a little bit, and you golf with the president from time to time up here. We see you sometimes at the nice golf courses around, but that's a weird one, man. I wonder what he's thinking.
It's a strange power move.
Love to know what the president said back. Like, hey, Tiger, I love you. You got to get off the phone, though. I can't help you on this one. I don't need this right now. And he could have called and just said, hey, I want to let you know none of the grandkids were in the car with me. I know that was a concern, so don't worry about that. Or maybe because they golf a lot together, goes, hey, I know we had an Easter game we were going to play. I was going to be in your foursome with a couple of your top guys there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I got a few problems here to take care of. So he wanted to call him before he saw everything. Crazy.
Oh, it's a new power move.
That's a new one, man. At least he didn't do that. Do you know who I am?
That's basically, I think that's even worse, isn't it? Because he did. I mean, he did do the "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "I'm going to play in the Masters. You guys are screwing me up."
Knew.
You got to. I mean, it was in Jupiter, right?
That guy.
Of course, they know who he is.
You could drop that guy off in the middle of the desert, and they know who he is. Come on,
but that's
Tiger. He didn't have to.
I think calling the top is a little bit. It's kind of a "Do you know who I am?" move.
I got to tell you, they let him go. And those guys, you're going to see a bunch of guys with it. That thing breaks. Those guys all get fired from their jobs.
Sorry, sir, you're free to go.
And the guys, they're like, hey, the guy hit me. What the hell? You letting him go? What the hell? I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh, that guy lawyered up quickly.
Oh, did he? He didn't waste
That'll be a
any
nice
time.
little payday,
He saw a paycheck on the way.
Oh, yeah.
You want to settle now before you go to jail?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man, we got more stuff to get to here this morning. I know it's not funny. It's not funny. There's nothing funny about it. But when he threw the president thing out, they went, what? President of what? Of the PGA? Jeez. Atlantic Men's Clinic. Boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know, Tiger. Hey, I'm going to leave him out of this spot. But I will tell you, man, Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED and low T is a serious, serious problem for guys. And I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about you. But I do know this, and it made me feel better when I set up that first appointment because I did have full-blown ED and low T, and I'm not a proud man to tell you that today. But I think it's important for guys that are going through it right now. So what I'm telling you is my energy level was shot. I had gained about 25, almost 30 pounds. And then on top of that, my sex drive was hit and miss. And then one day it was just gone. Nothing there, man. Nothing happening. I was running to bed early to fall asleep before she went to bed. I mean, it was a problem. It was bad stuff going on. But I tell you what, Atlantic Men's Clinic, getting on that program, the recommendation I got from somebody here, I want to thank him because the best thing ever happened to me. Energy levels back. My sex drive is back. Man, I just feel a lot better. I'm doing more every day. And that's what I want, man. And it's going to happen to every guy out there. That was the message and made me feel better. Every guy's going to have ED and low T at some point. You'll get hit with low T, but do know this, ED's on the way. And when it does, it doesn't mean like, oh, I guess this is retirement now. No. You can get rid of it real quickly when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. I want to tell you, today's Atlantic Men's Clinic day for me. I'm going down there to the Plantation location. I want you to set up the first appointment if this is something you're going through because you don't have to. You don't have to. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Brand new one in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. And matter of fact, throw my name around when you go in there, man. Throw it around all you want because I go there, and I'm proud to go there because I got great results, and I know you will too. Set up that first appointment, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com if you need more information. You're still not sure. But I will tell you, set up that first appointment because Atlantic Men's Clinic, you will get great results.
Things are not so good in Heatland.
without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, Woody. What do you have for us here on a crazy Friday?
Right,
Crazy
you like
Friday.
you want to discuss what we were just discussing here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's okay, not okay.
Well, we were discussing if the Heat were to have a strip club night, and I go, I wouldn't promote that. The Heat, that'd be the first time they call us here in the morning.
That's like an
not
April
a good
Fool's
idea.
thing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
Well, so the Wizards did an April Fool's thing, and they blindfolded a guy, had him shoot a half-court shot for $10,000. He basically misses everything, heaves it into the seats, and they all start celebrating like he made the shot. And then they show him a video, and then he goes, oh, I didn't make it. And the Wizards were getting crushed because nobody goes to the games. They're an embarrassment.
They are an embarrassment.
And
they truly are trying to lose.
They had to come out the next day and apologize for their little stunt that they did, and basically said that everyone was in on it. The fan, everyone was.
I thought it was kind of funny when you first told me. You didn't think it was funny? I think that's funny.
Yeah,
you had the guy thinking when he
do.
threw it that he made it.
I do, but then you got a lot of people are saying you should get $10,000 just for going to a Wizards game because it's so bad.
Oh no, I get that. You got to pay for some of that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think when somebody pulls off a prank and you get somebody, look, somebody just got me on something real badly.
Really?
And I just looked at him. I go, man, that was good. I didn't know him that well, so they pulled it on me, and I was like, usually if that was good, and then I saw him later. I go, that was really good. Yeah, I like a good prank.
All right, Joe, let's run through these real quick here. So we got Michigan and Arizona coming up tomorrow. If you are interested in this, the Fab Five are reuniting for a Final Four alt cast.
I thought they didn't like each other. They had that documentary said.
Have to tune in and find out, apparently. It's going to be on True TV and HBO Max. Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, Jimmy King, and Ray Jackson. They will host an alt cast. And
wasn't it Chris Webber didn't get along because he's
Chris Webber did
he called the timeout that didn't exist.
Juwan Howard coached there.
It wasn't Juwan. I think Juwan was good with everybody. We had Juwan down here. He's a good guy. I think it had to be Rose.
Whatever happened to Jalen Rose?
He's on
ESPN for a while.
He is, but now he's
on
in trouble. Fox. He's on something else now. He's got full time.
He was having
oh, you know what? No, it's
not
Fox. He's on one of the new NBA shows. He's doing one of those new NBA shows wherever they're having their games now. After speaking of signing huge contracts. By the way, that's why the NFL's so fired up. NBA, they're going, what the hell? They get all that money for that. We chew them up head to head.
It's funny. I don't run these stories by you beforehand, and you've segued beautifully into the second story here.
What do you have?
The NFL has reached a free agent status here, Joe. Not the TV deal, but with their sports books. Did you know this?
No.
Their contracts ran out here with their official betting partners. They had DraftKings, FanDuel, and Caesars. All of them apparently official partners.
So what happens now?
What do you think happens?
We need more money.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what's going to happen here. So they signed the original deals back in 2021, combined value of about $1 billion. The NFL could have exited those deals early. They chose to stick it through and go to the end here. And now we are back at the negotiating table. It looks like Caesars has dropped out officially, and DraftKings and FanDuel will duel it out, I guess.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, don't the NFL teams own part of those two companies? Some of the NFL owners own.
So the NFL as a league owns part of Genius Sports, which is their official data provider, which you need to be an official.
I thought some of the
book
owners,
kind of complicated.
I don't know which owners. Some of them bought in on some of those.
Well, yeah, they're public companies. Both of them are public companies. So I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen a bunch of players are jumping on these Kalshi and prediction markets, which now there's a big legal battle with those companies, right? Because they're trying to say, you're gambling on sports. They say that we're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're putting up money on the outcome of a game.
Boy, TV,
I don't know what you want to call
TV contracts, gambling. Ooh, boy.
Yeah. Speaking of TV contracts, Joe, Netflix Their numbers popped up here. 3 million viewers for Major League Baseball's opening night. NBC,
that was the Giants and Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, NBC had the Thursday night opener. They had 3.2 million viewers, making it the most watched opening day game since 2017. I don't know if those numbers are good. I mean, I guess they're okay. Just to put it in perspective here, the 2025 Game 7 of the World Series had about 27 million viewers, peaking at 33 million.
And
that's the World Series. It had a global audience, by the way, of 51 million, including the U.S., Canada, and, of course, Japan. So there you go.
And this game did 3 million, so what you said?
Yeah, so I don't know.
It wasn't the Yankees' fault. It was the San Francisco Giants' fault. They were terrible. It was a bad game. Lost 7-0, I think was the score. That was bad. Anyway.
That's all I got for you on the headlines here today, Joe.
Well, Woody, that's
I would like to, if we can, give you some weather. It is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season. Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate. We weren't expecting rain today, Joe, but I don't see the sun yet behind you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I got caught yesterday.
Chance of rain 7%.
Woody, it was the worst traffic I've seen. Anybody that got caught going from Dade to Broward.
Yeah, you told
sometime
me about that,
late
that was
night.
Awful. I was in it too, Joe.
I didn't move.
It took me like an hour and a half to get home, maybe 2 hours.
It took 2 hours for me to get.
Did you not listen to traffic reports, or did she miss it?
You know I don't.
Oh.
A drive that usually takes like 20 minutes.
Jamie, do you jump on? Are you one of these checks on the travel apps ahead of time to make sure there's no red in the road?
Sometimes I do, but yesterday I made the mistake of not doing so, and my drive home took forever.
Well, this is my fault.
Wait, so where was this again?
95 from here, got on 95, shooting all the way up to Fort Lauderdale to go to Bose.
Was a parking lot
to see Bob McAdoo, and it did not move.
So 95, like right over here. We're like exit 8 or 9.
95, no, going around the turn. No. It was good in Dade.
Golden Glades.
As soon as you started to get around Aventura, just getting in a little taste of Broward County, it was bad.
But those places out east, right? So there's not really any other way to get there.
Yeah, there is. You just got to get off
Take
the
back
road.
roads.
It was raining too.
And it was raining
day on the road.
It was bad. And by the way, did you see when we got there? I mean, there were cars were flipped over or whatever. They got their money. If I'm going to be in that kind of traffic when I drive by it, I mean, there were cars looked like they were. What was that game they used to play where the cars ran into each other and they were flipped over? It was bad.
Looked like a NASCAR.
Yeah, it
crash.
did. It did. That was bad.
Hmm.
One of the worst ones I've seen. Of course, that one day I just missed. Remember the one early in the morning motorcycle? Guy died in the middle of the freeway there.
Those are bad.
And I was just about 20, 30 yards behind it and had time to get off and go backwards to get off the road. But later on, Big Bo got caught in it. It didn't move. And it was backed up. It was top 5 all time. It was bad. Top 5. 95, top 5. All right, we got 8 o'clock hour coming up, man. Got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. We'll give you a little bit of everything. I'll tell you what, a guy that's really figured it out. We talk about Aaron Rodgers. I think he's made the most money of any NFL quarterback, and he's about ready to make more because it looks like he's coming back to the Steelers. But there's another guy that's had himself a nice little career, and he decided to sign yesterday. We'll get you caught up with all that. And, hey, when you make that first call, when you get in trouble, who do you call, man? Who do you call? Do you call the President of the United States? Tiger did. Hey, Baptist Health South Florida, want to tell you all about it, man. Oh, my gosh, what a great sports medicine program they have put together. Enter Miami, the Heat, the Florida Panthers, the Miami Dolphins. They all use them. Oh, they trust that specialist and those team doctors they have put together, working together to keep all our teams healthy and ready to go. And you got to have great specialists. If you're going to be a top sports medicine program in this country, you got to have great specialists that know how to get it done, have seen it over and over again. We got some of the best knee doctors, and I'm talking about when you fully blow out your knee thing, and I'm talking serious stuff where you got to operate quickly because you don't want to lose your leg. And these guys are fantastic, man. I'm telling you, they got some of the greatest success stories. I wish they'd let me just tell about the success stories on the knees they've had. But it's shoulder, foot, and ankle specialist, hand specialist, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. These doctors are good, man. Really, really good. And it's not just about high school, college, and professional athletes. It's for all of us to use with great facilities in Dade and Broward County. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium, 595 in Pine Island Implantation. You can't go wrong. Just visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Great doctors ready to make sure you get back out playing the sports you love the most.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the bull.
Free.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less than your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Starting with the Panthers, who beat the Bruins 2-1. The Cats will now hit the road to take on Pittsburgh tomorrow night. To the Heat, who will host the Wizards tomorrow afternoon. Tip-off is at 3 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. Over to baseball, the Marlins will be in the Bronx to begin a 3-game series with the Yankees. Today's first pitch is at 1:35. And the game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes will begin a 3-game home series with Virginia Tech tonight. Their first pitch is at 7 from Mark Light. In college hoops, Jay Lucas was named National Coach of the Year. Lucas led the Canes to a 26-win season in his first year. Finally, in soccer, Inter Miami will open their new stadium tomorrow when they host Austin. Joe, I don't know, trying to figure out traffic patterns here.
It doesn't matter, man. Congratulations.
We'll
We'll find out. Dave Hyde's going to go out and cover it, and we'll talk to Dave Hyde about it Monday.
Leave early.
But hey, man, good for them. It's done. They did it.
Yep. It looks beautiful.
The Moss family got that thing done, and I got to be honest, man. Remember all the years and all the locations that got turned down, and they were fighting, and it was going to be tough. They got it done, man. The Moss brothers got it done. And even before that, I thought I thought it was a joke. I never thought Messi was going to come here. And they've not only got Messi here, they've gotten a lot out of him. They not only have used him as a great marketing tool to get all this stuff done, they got him to extend his contract. I'll tell you, if they're paying him $70 million as a combination, that's what they're saying. He's making roughly $70 million a year. He's worth every dime. The value goes up, good for business, and it's not too often that you can say potentially you have the greatest player to ever play a sport. And they have it. And he's still good. At 38, he's still really good. You got kids that play, they know Messi. I bet there's there more Messi jerseys probably in this world than anything else, probably, right?
He's unbelievably popular with the kids. I mean, they
yeah, but I'm
him.
guessing it's not just like people in South Florida or in this country like MLS that are buying those Messi jerseys in those different colors. Those Inter Miami, I'll bet you they're everywhere. They're in France and
by the way,
Spain.
They did a nice job with all the branding over there. I mean, those jerseys are nice. That color and all
I
that is nice.
I saw the guy that runs the marketing and saw his comments. And I saw their sponsors that they have, and they have a list of sponsors that from the Adidas, Adidas has built up quite a foundation down here between Inter Miami and the University of Miami, and been able to do a lot of good things down here with that. But they've got Apple and just great companies. They got a great sponsor now for the stadium. Yeah, good for them, man. They've done they got a good product. I still don't quite understand all the rules, how they get all these guys and more guys they say want to come here, and I'm not exactly sure. And they're going, no, it's not on our payroll. It's I don't know how it seems like they want one team to be like the Dodgers to me, but I don't know. But they've made it fun, and I think they've kind of sold everybody like, hey, no matter where we go, we'll give you a sellout wherever your stadium is. Because, listen, they have had some huge crowds when Messi does play, and they buy tickets for these different places. And honestly, he's played a lot more than I thought he would he? 38 years old, that guy's been playing at a high level for a long time. I thought he'd be missing and pulled hamstring, and he has missed some games. And the guy's still going back and playing for Argentina. He's going to play in the, in the World Cup.
That's going to be big.
I don't know. Is Argentina one of the top-ranked teams with
yes,
the highest?
I would think so.
Italy didn't make it. How the hell does Italy not make? They haven't made it like the last 3 World Cups.
Haven't made it since 2006.
More than that then. Wow.
They won it in 2006.
Oh. Yeah, but they didn't even qualify for it. How the hell did Italy not qualify? The Italians must be good. Like, I'm guessing the kids are playing everywhere over there.
Too busy playing baseball.
Yeah, they're playing baseball now. Yeah, exactly. Good point there. Good point. Anyway, hey, congratulations to them.
An NFL game in Italy yet?
Well,
maybe they're playing NFL American football now.
Where?
In Italy. Have we had a game there yet? I don't think we've had a game there.
We haven't hit Italy yet.
No?
I wonder where that is on the they're jacked about France. Germany, they like that market.
What's the new one this year? Australia?
They love Spain. That Australia thing, I am so glad to hear the teams coming out saying we really don't want to make that trip.
You don't say.
I mean,
Jeez, man.
they're going, give us Mexico, man. Give us Mexico if we have to go. How about put a game back in Canada? Oh,
That is a long flight, man.
oh man. I got to tell you, I enjoyed Madrid. I did. I came home. Everybody's all like, well, what'd you think? How bad? I go, I like Madrid.
Well, what did the players think? I mean, you were with them going and coming back. Like, did they like the trip? Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they had family over there. The wives came in a little bit later in the week. And a lot of coaching met a lot of family members on it. Yeah, it was good. I mean, and they put us up obviously at a really, really nice hotel. And had a really nice. If you're gonna drink too much, we had the perfect bar. Our place was popular. It looked like a church. Just man, it was beautiful. And the bartenders, those guys were good. Yeah. They were flipping and flipped the drink like a movie. You know.
What do you drink over there? What was the popular drink?
I drank
tequila
related mostly.
Gotcha.
That was. That was good. I'm guessing Barcelona is going to be a good market too. Mm-hmm. But we could do without that one. We could do without going to Australia. Sorry. Nothing against people in Australia, but that's too damn far.
That place is so far, you won't even go for the tennis.
No,
that's how far that place is.
Nope. On deck, U.S. Open.
On deck. I can't believe you have been to the U.S. Open. That's like stunning.
But it's being talked about and negotiated right now.
Well, it's coming up. It's an August.
Right before the season starts. It's a week before the NFL.
Try to make it this year?
I don't know. Prefer not to say it this time. I'm not sure. But, we got Wimbledon done. We got the French Open done.
Now, if you were to go, when would you like to go? Early in the tournament, so you can see the
I don't want
to.
I don't want to go too early. All those out. I'm going to get there early, later first week or early second week.
Okay, ideally the first week when the big name.
Yeah, but they got. So you can do it right, man. They got the special restaurants. They wait on you. You can go back there. How much you want to spend, man? They got a package for everybody over there. They got a fancy little. It was nice, but I love the clay, man. I wanted to see the clay. I wanted to see what home of the clay looks like.
Was that your favorite you've been to?
Yep, it's better than Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. But we caught a Wimbledon day too. It was that overcast. It was nice.
So the Masters is coming up, and that's one place that I would just love to walk the grounds one day. Get that cheap food and that that pro shop they got. You can only buy there.
That's got to get on the list too, even though I don't know.
That's a toughie. That's a tough
one. What else I did? I was to my York had a trip lined up through. Really? Now I'm a group. No, but the people are there waiting for it. Like, I mean, it was like the assistant was there, and it was great. I didn't have clay shoes on there, brother. I was going out there playing. She said, "Bring shoes." That might be what we're doing a little bit on this vacation. Hey, anyway, we've got all kinds of stuff. Listen, man, this Tiger. I don't know this Tiger story, but anytime it's Tiger, obviously it's not just a top sports story. But when that video came out, it became not number one news story, but it was right there at the top, and they were teasing it. That Tiger video, by the way, did not look good. I guess when he was sitting in the back seat, he didn't know that they had a camera back there. He looked like he didn't know, or maybe didn't care. But hey, the good news is he's getting help, And the second part is we found out he made a call to the president, and they figured out by the fact that the president said that he's got some things he has to work out and that he had spoken to him, that he really did call the president of the United States. How about that for a first call? Even before do you know who I am, you just call the president of the United States. I know what he thought. I could hear Donald Trump going, well, what do you want me to do? I got a few other things on my plate right now. Is everybody okay? Good. All right. Good luck with everything. Anyway, got plenty of stuff coming up here. We got Paul Maurice going to join us this 8 o'clock hour. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody's going, well, Panthers one game away from being eliminated and getting, and they just keep winning, man. They've had two really impressive wins considering they have nobody in who they've beaten so far, Buffalo and Boston. And they got to be missing half their friggin' team right now. And find a way to win again. So Panthers get a 2-1 win. Big Bob was just outstanding last night. 28 saves, a bunch of big ones in that third period. And now the question is, we got this top 10 draft pick. It's protected if they finish with a bottom 10 record. They keep winning. Right now, what are they, like 8, Jamie? I see they're like 8. 7 or 8.
8th worst team in the NHL. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are right now. They need to finish bottom 10 to get that top 10, to get their first round pick.
And everybody's telling me, man, we got to get some young guys, man. We got to get back to the.
They do, but the whole team's coming back.
I know.
I
had this discussion with a hardcore hockey guy, and he's like, they got to get some young defensemen and this. And I go, hey, man, they signed them up, and they know at the end of these contracts they're in trouble.
Most of the teams coming back, almost all the forwards are coming back. They could use a defenseman or two. Big question with Bobrovsky this summer. They're probably going to come to an agreement, but
Big Bob's got to take less money.
Yeah, I agree. He probably will.
Big Bob, we love you, and if you love your Russian people down here and living down here.
Did you see what he said last night?
No.
He was like, I'm living the dream. I love playing in South Florida. I love these guys, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was saying how much he loves playing in Florida after the game.
Oh, I think they all do.
Yeah. But that leads me to believe he doesn't want to leave.
How about you can live down here and then on top of that, not only you live down here, but you're winning. It's no longer just have your family come down and enjoy a vacation. They're kicking ass.
That's what he said. He was like, I'm living the dream. I'm the goaltender for the 2-time Stanley Cup Florida Panthers. Like, I don't know. Sounds to me like he wants to stay.
But we can't pay him what he just got. He just made a lot of money.
He made his money.
What did he make? 6-year was that 6-year contract?
I think it was $770 million. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be talking to the head coach, Paul Maurice. But yeah, Big Bob looked like he wanted to be back the way he was playing last night. He looked good. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning, so stay with us. We'll jump on some more stuff. But before we do, I want to take a second and tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. Boy, I'll tell you what, Chevy Truck Month is over. But, man, that doesn't mean that we still don't have a lot of great trucks for you. And if you're still out there and you didn't have time during Chevy Truck Month, we got great deals for you right now. They sent me a little message here. Chevy Silverados, Chevy Colorados. Man, we got a truck that's perfect for your lifestyle. Seriously. Whether it's a full-time working truck, needs to be a full-time working truck, but also family truck. You need that extra space for the kids. And wait a second. Still need to pull around the boats and the wave runners and all the toys you and your family enjoy on the weekends. We got all those trucks for you, man. You can't go wrong when you go to a Silverado truck. It's our big dog. It's always been our cleanup hitter. And, man, I got to tell you, it's not just the trucks, though. It's the SUV family. Just really comes down to what do you need? You want an Equinox? Are you thinking more the big Suburbans? Are you thinking a Joe Rose Tahoe? The Joe Tahoe is beautiful, man. You'll love them all. And, of course, the Corvette's still the sexiest thing we have. Hey, you're looking around, man. Stop by, take a test drive. We got some great deals. We are loaded down with Chevys for you to get exactly what you're looking for at your South Florida Chevy dealers this weekend.
Let's go.
My gosh, what are you telling me? We got some tickets to give
Are
away
we
here
still
on
trying
a
to
Friday?
do a setup here with Julie? Is she?
Oh, you're talking about Julie Guy. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, you got to spell it out, boy.
Gotta,
You're so weird about this
I
whole
am
thing.
weird about this.
Why are you
But-
weird about like the whole girl thing and the way I talk to the girls and go, "Damn, you look good today," and you can say that to them. Hey, girl, you look good today.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Are we not trying to do that though? Because we were like earlier in the week, we were saying the winner of the tickets had to take her, or it would be preferred.
She
wanted to go.
So I got to tell you, she's had some of the guys contact her. She's not here today.
The dangers of social media, right?
She's
Yeah.
But we did have a lot of people that did reach out over and thought they were ratting me out. They weren't ratting me out.
Mm-hmm.
She knows. She's my friend. She knows.
Okay.
But I don't know if we're gonna get her for a date or not.
All
She's not seen anybody though. She is single and ready to mingle. I do know that.
Yes. Made that very clear.
Very clear.
305-567-0560 is the number. What caller number you want to go with on this Friday here?
Oh man. What do you think it would? Let's go 4 for Final Four.
All right. Final Four. We're gonna get your picks at some point, right?
Not really, because I have no idea.
That's even better then.
Nobody
has any idea.
Arizona looks really good, and I listen to those guys. I'm going by
Did
what
you
all
see
those
what
guys.
happened to Michigan point guard? He got had an allergic reaction or something. Didn't travel with the team. They say he's fine, but like an ambulance come out there is a whole deal.
Is he playing?
Yeah, I mean, they said he's fine, but
okay,
you never know, man. Those allergic reactions.
So it's hard to me, just from what I've seen, that Michigan didn't win this whole thing.
So you like Michigan to win it all?
Yeah. But I hear everybody tell me, no, you got the wrong team. It's Arizona. That's okay.
Okay. What about UConn?
I'm torn here.
You a fan of that coach?
Sometimes, I don't know.
A little tough, right?
Yeah.
I guess if he's your guy, you
kind
like
of a
him,
cool
but...
act and what he's been able to do. And listen, that was a great win the other day. That was a great win for him to come back and win that game. Made him look really good.
We'll get your picks later so people can
kind of rooting for Illinois.
Yeah, good shot. Illinois is feisty.
So anyway, what do you got? 2 tickets for?
Yeah, we're gonna go call.
They are
right now. They're already lit up. So
let
me get to this.
Can I get to some of the names? I always like doing this.
I know you do.
You got what do you got here? You got Campbell, Timothy Campbell. Who else? Steve. I got Steven in there. Kelly. Manuel. Chris. You got a lot to choose from. A lot to choose from here this morning. Anyway, yeah, this giveaway for the tickets has been great. And boy, they're a hell of a band. They're a hell of a band for a long time. All right, hey, we've got all kinds of stuff going on here today. I got to get back to this here real quickly before we get to Paul Maurice going to join us coming up here at 8:40. We'll talk to head coach of the Panthers. Still in it. I mean, they're just hanging on now. They got 2 wins. I think a lot of people thought, they're out of it. They're going to lose one of these 2 games at home. And they go not so fast, man. They got Ottawa, and then they get a nice win against Boston last night. One team just outside the playoffs and the other team inside the playoffs right now, and they didn't care. Able to get the win.
We got Christian in
Why
Miami.
you always do that? You always jump in while I'm doing something to tell me who won.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Christian
go ahead.
in Miami got the tickets here. There's a lot of people calling, so
that's good.
If you missed it,
people like free, man. Free is good. Free is.
We'll try next week. We'll try to get something for you next week.
All right, that sounds good. So anyway, we got John Eric Sullivan. I guess we have unnamed sources in the NFL criticizing his moves from taking Malik Willis and not going with Quinn Ewers. I'm just so this is all over the place now. Why didn't he just take a full cap hit this year on Tua instead of split it up? I'm guessing they thought it out what was best for the team. I don't think he does anything without thinking it all and coming into this disaster of a mess here financially that he's got to clean up. And then the third one was he didn't get enough for Waddle. I love all these, whoever it is on these other teams that would never put their name on this, that are coming out talking about these things with John Eric Sullivan. So, again, he really likes Malik Willis, he and his head coach. Second of all, he decided to split it up. They're still going to have a ton of money for next year, even with the second part of the Tua cap hit that they'll put on it. And the Waddle thing, hey, listen, it's great for them, Denver, and I'm a Waddle fan. Nothing bad to say about him. Number one is I don't know if he asked to be traded. There's a lot of people that have speculated that his agent did say he wanted out. But the second part of this is that they got a pretty good offer with a first-round pick, late first-round pick, 30th, and a third-round pick, which we like first, second, and third-round picks on this team. That's big. So, and John Eric Sullivan said, hey, man, it's going to be a good trade, but I got to hit on the first and third-round picks. It was so refreshing to hear. He didn't like go around it. He just said, yeah, it's my job now to make sure I get a good first-round pick and a good third-round pick so that we can get our first draft class going and then make this thing fair so we don't get beat up in this trade. Hey, man, John Eric Sullivan said so well, said so nicely. I agree. Everybody just kind of forgets about this, man. When they take shots at John Eric Sullivan, he came into this mess. No matter how he handled this, there were going to be people taking shots at him. He came into a friggin' financial mess. Not his fault. Came here. He knew what he was getting into, by the way. He got the green light from all the people running the team, owner, everybody else, to do whatever you have to do to clean it up. And he did. He got rid of a lot of people. Some of them we didn't even know. I didn't know till recently. They got rid of a lot of people. And he's getting his own people in there, and he is zoned in on this draft. And this is where we are. Yeah. People go, oh, that roster is terrible. Yeah, right now roster's not great. I agree. You're right. Again, you know the deal, though. Everybody in the league knows the deal. So when these guys take shots at John Eric Sullivan, I'm going, man, and then the other stuff of bringing in the president of the team and all that stuff. Look at John Eric Sullivan's running the show. John Eric Sullivan is running the show. He's not looking around. I would like to think that everybody's on the same page on this one and that there's no backstabbing and everybody's going to do it the right way. And they like Malik Willis. And I love the fact that they've told you a zillion times they like Malik Willis a lot. They know him and they like him. And they think he's got a chance to be the quarterback. And others go, well, I saw him in Tennessee. He's not that guy. And what are you guys doing? And then on top of that, when we gave him 23, we didn't give him $54 million. We gave him $23 million for 2 years. That's it. That's it. So go get him, John Eric Sullivan, man. I'm sure he knows this comes with the job, and he also understands down here that we're in a serious drought of winning. I'm guessing he knew that when he took the job. We don't have a day where somebody doesn't bring up we haven't won a playoff game in 25 or 26. I don't even know what's the number. I don't know if it's 25 or 26.
Didn't they used to have like a clock or a calendar or something on the wall there?
That's right. Mike had.
Do you think he took that with him? I don't know. Right? Didn't they had something on the wall or something, right?
You're a bad guy. That's funny. That was funny. That was very
it's like that sign, like, a certain amount of days without incident. Like,
hey, all I know is, hey, we're not only nice to players, and we're going to pay most of Tua's salary this year to play for the Atlanta Falcons. We're such good guys. The highest paid offensive coordinator right now in football is with the Chargers, and we're going to pay him $19 million the next 2 years. That's when you know, hey,
whatever.
We're helping everywhere. We're helping you get your offense. We're helping your quarterback maybe, and the whole deal.
I still think there's a lot of intrigue around this season that could have been a total mess, right? This thing could have been just a bottom-out season. Now you got a quarterback that maybe he's the guy. These guys seem to believe it, and they're in an organization that is consistently good.
You have to sell me?
not trying to sell anyway. I don't care. But
I had these guys, the last 3 guys standing yesterday at Bo's restaurant. Man, the food was great yesterday. The last 3 guys are there, and they go, hey, what do you think of these guys? Last question I got. And then, we talked for 20 minutes. I said, they're good.
Yeah,
I like them. And they go, you know what's nice, man? I feel like he's talking to me directly. And I go, yeah, I feel that same way. He kind of tells you what's going on, how he feels about it. He's not hiding stuff from fans. He says, hey, man, we're going to try to win games with what we have, and hopefully our guys develop quickly. It's going to be a young team, and it's going to be a cheap team of guys that are trying to get second chances, have been role players, didn't have as big a role last year, get their careers going, and we're just throwing everybody in there together to compete, get better, and win some friggin' games. And the biggest thing is get enough around Malik Willis to give him a chance to have some success. And that may not be in wins. It may not be. But
it's just too early, man. They've been here a month.
Yeah.
It's just too early.
But people want to know.
Ask you about them. Like, yeah, they're straight shooters, a good guy. We've seen plenty of interviews. We've met them, but let's give them a shot to
By the way,
get into a training camp.
Our general manager's been out there in front more in the first month than the other guy was in 9 years.
Well, for good reason. Chris didn't exactly nail those media availabilities.
So,
the day after his press conferences were usually a bloodbath.
You may not like everything John Eric Sullivan has to say. You may not like everybody he takes. But he's taking ownership of everything, man. And he's telling you that. Hey, the Waddle trade is good for them. We know that. Because Waddle's a good player. He didn't hide. He hasn't badmouthed anybody. I do the badmouthing for him. He doesn't badmouth anybody. And he said, hey, for this trade to be a good one, I got to hit on 1 and 3. Man, that's
seems reasonable.
Yeah. How about that?
For a guy that I'm guessing did not want to be here?
There's a chance that Waddle did not want to be here. That is true. There is a chance after what he's played on.
Would you rather be at the situation he's at now or this one?
Oh, no, he's where he wants to be.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he almost handpicked it because he's with his best friend. He's with Surtain Jr., roommates, and been together for a long time, going back to Alabama. They'll be roommates right away. And he's going to a really good team. I think they have the best all-around team in the AFC. Not even close. I think they're clearly the best team in AFC.
I'm guessing that Achane told them that he wants to be here at this point, right? The way that they talked about him at the owners' meetings.
He did say a lot of nice things. No question.
They made it pretty clear that he was going to be here, right?
They did. Hey, you ready for a little Paul Maurice, Panthers head coach? Got another good win last night. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm sure coach thought he was coming on today and going to say, hey, we're out of it and we're just banged up. And, boy, I'll tell you what, they're a little feisty right now, getting off to great starts these last 2 games and getting wins, man. Anyway, we'll talk to him. We got a lot of stuff to talk to coach. I hope he's in a good mood today. That sometimes a 2-1 win will put you in a good mood late in the year. But I want to talk about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage for just a second, man. I got to let you know. Let me guess. Credit card debt is killing you right now. How would you like to consolidate it? How about you're behind on property taxes, HOA dues, assessments, judgments, liens, and you need some help there too? Well, one way is a reverse mortgage. If you're 62 or older, you and your spouse, and have a lot of equity in your home, it's a great way to go, man. Get everything paid off. You get that equity out of the home quickly, get that second mortgage, and just knock it out. And all of a sudden, the stress is off. You feel better. How about first-time home buyer programs with very little money down, and you get that first home? Michael Kotze has put together at Choice Mortgage some great programs for you. And you can get approved quickly. You always get the lowest rates, a lot better rates than you're paying on that credit card every month. I know that. Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage reviews, saying a lot of nice things about Michael Kotze. Hey, debt consolidation, you need the cash. Come on, man. Whatever it is, insurance cost, HOA cost, again, let Michael Kotze help you. At Choice Mortgage, the man has no life. He's always working. He works 7 days a week. Yep. You can call or text him on a weekend, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. 30-plus years in the business, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change, daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender ready to help you get the process started now.
Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, Joe.
All right, Woody, let's go right to him. We haven't talked to him for a while. The head coach of the Florida Panthers, Paul Maurice. And, Coach, man, congratulations. You got two teams. One's in the playoffs. Ottawa's right there knocking on the door. You beat both of them in these games, barely hanging in there still for a playoff position. But, boy, no quit in this team. I'm guessing you're pretty happy with what you've seen this last two games.
Yeah, Joe, when I looked at the schedule, especially with what was on them for those two teams, they're fighting for their lives. And there's so many teams in that mix that. And then the second part is the number of players that we have out. I thought, these could both get real ugly. And no, really, I mean, we used to go into Philadelphia way back in their heyday and think, man, they could beat us by 10, and you feel that way sometimes. But I'll tell you what, they play hard, they play fast. I think we had such a good bunch of guys there that even the young players that we bring up for Charlotte or whoever we bring in, they're almost encouraged to play as fast and as hard. Like the guys are cheering for them, and that goes a long way for a guy who doesn't have a lot of NHL experience. He comes up and Seth Jones is cheering for you, or there's they're positive with them, and they're kind of like kids and their dad some ways, right? They want to play well for the guys. So
yeah,
we got a bunch of guys that are out there playing as hard as they possibly can right now, and that's the only way probably mentally to survive the challenge and knowing where we're at.
I know how competitive you are and the job you've done. You've been the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row, and you're back-to-back champs. And I always think of you when I see you doing those press conferences after the game with all these guys hurt. I'm chuckling only because I don't know if I've ever seen a team this banged up. You've been around hockey for forever. How you can't get mad at anybody when you play. How do you treat it when you're going through this and you lose 3 or 4 in a row?
Yeah, Joe, that's a great question, and that's kind of what we've been grinding on all year. I mean, you have this tremendous amount of respect for your work ethic, and you see it, and you know that your team can't look the way that you've seen it look for 3 years, right? You have this expectation and this. So that's been the real challenge. How do you handle a group of men that are giving you what they have, but what they have isn't going to add up to what the last 3 years have been. So that's been the real challenge. Made easier by their attitude toward the coaches. They're trying, right? Like they don't cheat on each other, and that's the most important thing. And you stand behind the bench and you got guys doing things that are causing another guy in the ice problem. One guy's trying to do it right, one guy doesn't care. You got a real problem in the game of hockey. It just doesn't work like that. That hasn't been the case. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, we've had more broken bones here, and I think Dave DiNapoli, who's our kind of brilliant, now beleaguered athletic therapist, more surgeries this year than any times in his entire tenure here with the Florida Panthers. So we've been in one and full on and almost comical with the number of injuries. But they're hanging in there.
Yeah, I always so you've gotten to know the Charlotte team pretty well. I bet you think sometimes you're the coach in Charlotte there.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any guys on two-way contracts down there. I think we'd have to start signing guys. So, yeah, we stole his team here. We're up here complaining. We stole half his team. So but they're hanging in there in Charlotte too. Bill Zito's done an incredible job building an organization from a character point of view and a player point of view that can win. We know that, but also can survive these kind of situations because there hasn't been a disintegration at the American League level. That team's still viable and playing well. We stole half their team. These guys are it's important for the fans, right? They're coming to those last two games. They don't want to see the home team.
Great point.
They want us. They pay their money. We have this kind of great relationship. Everybody remembers what's happened here for the last few years, but at the same time, we're not making the playoffs this year. And it's important for them to come watch the home team win, especially on these nights. There's some, when this Boston comes into town, there's some Boston fans in the building. Nobody wants to sit there and listen to Boston fans cheer. So good for the guys last night. They played their butts off. I'm not sure if we could do that night after night against the playoff team with that lineup, but we didn't need to. We just needed to do it last night.
Hey, Big Bob, man. Looked like Big Bob last night. Boy, I'll tell you what. And he is. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, go ahead. Like Sergei is like the Florida Panthers, right? He's we've seen what he's done. But this year, we couldn't play the game in front of him that gave him a chance, and he wasn't any different than any other player on our team. He's played a ton of hockey. We changed the game in front of him a little bit, what he's used to seeing. And he's going to be great next year. So there's the game that you saw last night, a little bit of rest, feeling good about it, his game. That's Sergei Bobrovsky.
You know what's amazing, too? You guys want to be here, man. Whether it's at a parade after 12 beers or I don't know how many you had, Coach.
I would never do that.
No, Coach. I had it a little fun because I still think what you did was one of the greatest things a couple of years ago I've ever heard. I mean, with your wife. That's a classic.
Yeah,
I cried laughing after I had about 10 beers up watching it, so it was great.
You might be right. Yeah, you might have been.
Hey, but no, you guys want to be here. Like, Big Bob came out and said, man, I don't want to go anywhere else. Like,
nobody wants to go anywhere. Nobody wants to coach anywhere else. It's all of it. It's the whole entire package. And you should look at Mr. Viola at the start of this, right? He invested in here, brought the right people in, and then when Bill Zito gets here. And then there's, everything just takes off because he just brings in the right kind of players. And we've got a great place to live. The fans are awesome with our players. There's a great connection there. Even in a down year, they never got down on us. Look, we go to a lot of buildings in the league, and in the last 3 or 4, when we would get on the other team, and they just start blowing their butts off. And it's been tough. There's been some tough nights at home, and the fans have been great with us, and we appreciate that. And that's why people want to play here. You want to raise your kids here. You want your wife and kids to live here. It's a great place, man.
And they know the core's coming back. Getting that message out right away, like, hey, we're running this thing back at the trade deadline. That you guys were real clear. And so everybody I talked to is like, hey, we're going to have all those guys healthy. You're going to have some extra time to get healthy. Big, all of them. Barkey's going to be back. We'll be ready to go. And by the way, I'm so glad to hear you say Barkey's not coming back, guys. We're out of this thing. That had to be said.
He may, it's up to him. He has the choice. The World Championships is at the end of May, which is outside the window of healing. Like it's beyond 100% at that point.
Yeah.
But there's not a chance in hell I'm bringing any of these. Now, just so you know, all these guys that are out of our lineup right now, I couldn't play them. Like, they're broken bones, right? They're legit. We're not tanking here. We just don't have any players left. We've got a bunch of knee injuries, a bunch of rib injuries. All these guys are out, and it's all legit. And now we're just trying to grind through it and give some kids a chance that we may consider for next year.
Hey, speaking of young guys, Samoskevich, it's good to see 3 goals the last 3 games. I've been wondering. I said, hey, man, come on, first rounder. Let's get – and he looks like the lights have gone on a little bit, no?
Yeah. You know what? This young man's done everything I asked him to do, to play a game a certain way, and he's had so many chances this year that didn't go. I'd say when we start at the end of the year, we just fool around and play this game. What do we think everybody's going to score? A goal, the coaches, and I had him for 27. And I think he had at least chances to score 30 this year. He had so many great chances, and it didn't go. And then a young man confidence, the team is sliding. He felt it, I think, but when he scored that goal in New York, it was such an unusual goal that you felt he's just going to take off now. He's a great player. He's a great young player. Plays hard, does all the right things. I don't know that I've ever seen it. It's kind of like the story of the year. I know I've never seen a team get this injured, and I've never seen a guy that snake bit. And now I think the running joke is between he and I, he's going to score 17 this year, so he's going to just heat right up toward the end.
Man, that's great stuff. So it's out there, Coach. I got to bring it up in radio world. So you got top 10 draft pick. It's protected if you finish in the bottom 10. How many times have you heard about that? And I know you're all about winning games and win as many. It doesn't like you'd have the last 2. People are going, they're keeping track. Like, oh, now they're tied at that 8 spot. Well, what? Yeah. How you treating that, Coach? What do you say to everybody?
That has nothing to do with us. So just to put it in, and I understand the idea, but to put it into context, we were trying to win with 5 or 6 guys out of our lineup and couldn't do it consistently. And that makes sense. You take 5 or 6 guys. Right. We're at 11 guys out today. We can try to win as hard as we want. And the math says we're probably losing that game. But you're not losing every game. So there's no way to walk out onto the bench and say, hey, fellas, we'd really like to kind of lose this game tonight.
Right.
It just doesn't work like that. Now, and I don't just all of that draft pick, be careful what you wish for. I mean, if you get the pick this year, then you don't get it next year. There's still a pick going out. Who knows?
Right.
Like, who knows? The guy that you don't get next year may be twice the player that you did get this year. Right. So you never know what those things, there's no value to it. There's a value to your culture. We're going to go on the road for 5, Joe. And the truth is, the first 4 games, they should beat us. There are 4 teams fighting for their playoff lives. They're fully loaded. They're fully healthy. We're going to go into Pittsburgh. We're on a run of playing every second night back to back. And we have 11 guys out, man. Like, we should get beat by 10, but we don't because these guys are playing their asses off.
Right.
And so if we lose a game, it's not because we just couldn't get there that night. We won our last 2. I'm so proud of the game in Edmonton. That was outstanding for our morale. We needed that, but you get used to, they got a couple injuries. No, we're going to hit 550. Like, we averaged 140 each year, not in 1 year. So we're going to go in and play our asses off and try to stay relevant in the game. And then make sure that we take care of each other and our cultures right when we leave the building.
Hey, Coach, I think you said it best. What you guys did this week at home, winning those 2 games, meant a lot to those fans. And like you said, they're paying the same price. And they still see a couple of those names out there, Kachuk and Bennett and Verhaeghe, and they're going, you know what? Those guys are a big part of what we do. We got a chance with those guys, plus the young guys. There's a belief, and you're old school. You're about winning, man, and doing it the right way.
We're going to be a good team. It's so hard to with the idea that you can easily win 3 in the league. It's not true, but we're going to learn something this year that's going to give us a chance to win next year. That's all.
Coach, thank you so much, man. It's good talking to you. I
All
promise
right,
you, I'm gonna leave you alone the rest of the year. I promise. But thank you so much.
Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime, brother. All right. Take care. Thanks.
Paul Maurice, Panthers head coach, joining us this morning. We've got to take a break. Mike Florio is going to join us coming up 9 o'clock hour. Coach, man, unbelievable. As honest as you can get. We'll be right back.
Ralkia.com, starting with the Panthers, who beat the Bruins 2-1. The Cats will now hit the road to take on Pittsburgh tomorrow night. The Heat will host the Wizards tomorrow afternoon. Tip-off is at 3 from the Kaseya Center. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. Over to baseball, the Marlins will be in the Bronx to begin a 3-game series with the Yankees. Today's first pitch is at 1:35, and the game can be heard on 560 AM. And the Hurricanes will begin a 3-game home series with Virginia Tech tonight. Their first pitch is at 7 from Mark Light. In college hoops, the Hurricanes' Jay Lucas was named National Coach of the Year. Lucas led the Kings to a 26-win season in his first year. Finally, in soccer, Inter Miami will open their new stadium tomorrow when they host Austin. The Joe Rose Show continues now.
Going to talk some Dolphins, talk some football with Kimbo Camper, Milpitas High School in Milpitas, California. Am I saying that right?
So if you're not practicing in pads, how do you get hard? How do you get physical if you're not doing that?
The throw to Ayuk inside, touchdown. Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him.
Woody, you're a bad man.
Bad
you're a bad man.
Poor Dono.
Dono doesn't deserve that.
We set him up for failure.
He does not. The big fella's out getting a coffee right now somewhere. He's a Starbucks guy. He's out at Starbucks, and he just went, really, Woody? You just did a combination of Milpitas High School, not Penis High School.
Yeah. We were talking back here, wondering what Bo would be like if he's stuck in that traffic you guys were stuck in yesterday.
He lost his mind. I'm not sure why Jamie was in it. I was trying to get up there to get to the luncheon with Bob McAdoo yesterday, and and on top it was raining. I was like, oh, this just miserable. You can see everybody's cutting everybody off, trying to get in a different lane and trying to get off the road, and just it was the ugliest part of what South Florida has to offer. If you're wondering what some of the people are like, get stuck in traffic for 2 hours down here in the rain, and you get to see the ugly part of 90% of the people driving.
I was stuck in the express lane and literally parking lot, like no movement whatsoever.
Yeah, I never got over there.
Yeah.
It didn't move.
It was like the regular traffic.
It had some parking lot written in it. It
Yeah.
did. It didn't move, some of it.
I feel like 95 is either like a racetrack or a parking lot, and yesterday we definitely got the parking lot.
Well,
you get for not listening to traffic reports.
And then the old was that a water truck that was flipped over when I finally got there? It looked like a water truck.
Something. It was some kind of like machine type truck. I was hoping it wasn't a gas leak, but I guess it wasn't.
Was that the only one, or did I see some other cars kind of wiped out around it?
There were like cars scattered on the road.
It was weird, man. It was weird. And did it look like a helicopter had landed there? It was like a
wow, was that bad?
I may have beaten the helicopter. I didn't see that, but
there was a helicopter over the top. I just didn't know if it had landed before. Anyway, it was crazy. And man, I had to check my patience yesterday. I had to take a patience pill. I got 6 of them left, and I took one yesterday.
Quick weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Hopefully your drive home will be better, Joe, because there's a 9% chance of rain in the upper 70s here. So hopefully
9%. 9% means to me there's a chance.
Tennis?
There's tennis today.
I think you're looking good.
Little tennis on that. By the way,
that's just the Miami weather.
Hey man, how about our guy Paul Maurice? Can't get more honest than
he's always like that though. He
goes, hey man, we got a whole bunch of teams we're getting ready to play. They're gonna be like going to the wall, and I'm playing with what I'm going. They should win. What do you say? They should win 4 out of 5 games. Says we're not going to try to lose though. What happened the other night? 2-1 win and the 6-3 win. It's good. And by the way, how about the comment about Samaskevich? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
they did before the season about how many goals they thought he'd have 27 this year.
Didn't live up to that.
But he got 3 in the last 3 games, so that's good. But hey, man, I always say this: when you're a first-round pick, it's great when you get that first-round money.
Something tells me they're not too concerned about that first-round pick, that top 10, finish in the bottom 10.
Yeah,
I don't think they really care.
Whether it's this year or next year, you're right. I got that too. Like, hey, man, You guys they're talking about that and that we need to get younger and all that stuff. But I got to tell you what, they got some guys. Again, they don't finish like they did last year. You could tell the big guys are out, right? The guys that so good in the big games. But man,
how about Maurice saying it sounds like Bobrovsky's coming back too?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he didn't flat out say it, but he
might as well have.
You know, he
he wants to be here. We're gonna get it done. Big Bob's happy here. Well, we'll find out how happy you are when we offer you 4 or 5 a year. I don't know.
I mean, he already got the big payday. He got his rings.
I don't think they look at it that way. But he did. You're right, man. And his career all of a sudden looks – hey, by the way, how about his 2 careers here? How about the one that started before Paul Maurice got here?
I mean, but, yeah, I know it was rough to start, but now he's –
Hall of Fame-ish.
Best goalie in franchise history, and I'd say definitely Hall of Fame.
Definite?
He has multiple Vezina trophies. He has multiple Stanley Cups. Like, absolutely Hall of Famer.
There you go. See? Sometimes I need my insider, the Junior Panthers, going way back right there for that stuff. That's beautiful. Hey, we're going to have Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk join us coming up here in a few minutes and get into all the news. So, Woody, we got one guy left out there. Did we say this last year? I think we said this last year about this time. Well, we got one quarterback left out there outside of the draft.
Probably more than just last year.
Aaron Rodgers.
This is a yearly tradition, Joe.
Is he coming back? You're right.
Yeah, this is a fun offseason. I almost don't want him to retire so we can do this every year. He comes out after the season. He goes on his national TV appearance and complains about not being private.
It's one thing, though, to jerk the Jets around a little bit, but you're jerking around the Steelers now. How's that happen?
I don't know where this Broncos thing came from either, but that's an interesting one.
Is Bo Nix going to be back for the start of the season?
Well, that's the only that's got to be the only way you bring him in. That's a great call, because if he's healthy and ready to go, and the doctor goes he should be durable, Dan, ready to go again. Hey, unless Aaron Rodgers wants to come be the backup, and I don't know to you, but doesn't look like me that Aaron Rodgers is ready to be a backup. Part of what's made him great and out there is he wants to be the man. He ain't coming there to stand next to the coach.
You know, he could also, jacket. I guess he could wait, right, and see who goes down.
I don't think he wants to do that.
I mean, look what happened last year with the Colts. Like, that would have been a great situation to jump into.
How long since the season's been over for the It's been 3 months, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, how much time do you need to make this decision?
He does this every year, though, man. You act like this is like a new thing.
Like, are you telling me in another month you'll have a better idea than now? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's going to get more clarity after he does whatever those drugs are that he does and goes in his cave. And
well, he just needs people to leave him alone. I mean,
what's that hallucinogenic thing that he does?
Wife.
He's going to ask her. He's got to weigh, she's got to weigh in on this.
Trying to figure out who she is.
Yeah.
When he finds her. That's what he's trying to wait to find her. That's a weird deal, man. Hell, Tom Brady can't even go out on a friggin' he goes out and has a little fun on an island with a girl. We got pictures. This guy, Tom Brady, goes out on a friggin' date with a girl. And then he goes out to LA and he's at a party, like some big private party. And it comes out on TMZ. They got pictures of him, like the girl giving him a back rub or something. And we can't figure out who the wife is of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And apparently they're flying drones
and he ain't no
over
Tom
his
Brady.
House. Remember, he goes, they're flying drones over my house to try to get a picture of her. Have you asked Mike, by the way, about your theory?
I don't know if I have.
You should present your theory to him today and see what he thinks.
I know one of his close friends thinks that I might be onto something.
What if it comes out that that's true? Which it probably is. But
he would look like the biggest ass clown. When I put together ass clown, it was made for if we find out that he's truly not married.
He made the whole thing up.
And he made it up so people would leave him alone or whatever he would come up. You know, he's been caught in a couple of little fibbies before.
This whole leave me alone thing though is so funny. Like no one cares, man. Like, do your thing, but if you go on national TV, you're going to become a little bit of a story.
Hold on a sec. Mike Tannenbaum's talking about Ty Simpson if he's a first-round pick. Hey, we got to go to break here, man. We've got a lot more stuff to get to. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk will join us next.
Head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com, Joe.
All right, thank you so much as we bring in Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. Saw you at the owners meeting, and I got to tell you, man, the stuff you did with our guys was really good. Matter of fact, everybody used it, and I used your sound for 2 days. Mike, it was great.
Where's my check?
Yeah.
You'll be hearing from NBC's lawyers.
Hey.
Cease and desist.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
kidding.
You're a bad
I'm
man,
kidding.
Mike. Hey,
as long as you give us credit, that's fine. I think didn't we have Halfley walk up during the interview
Yes.
with John Eric Sullivan? I think you did, yeah.
It was great. No, listen, man, they are locked tight. By the way, they got a clear-cut message with everything. I thought your questions were great with everything. He went through it. Because to me, when he does that, it's going right to the fan base. That's why I put it out there. I thought the stuff was really straightforward. Whether people like it or not, it's a different story. But he explained a lot of stuff with the questions. What'd you think of him? You talked to all those guys.
I'm impressed with both John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Halfley. I think the franchise is in good hands with those two, as long as they're allowed to now execute on their shared vision for what it's going to take to make the team what it needs to be. That narrative that has been, well, the thing about narratives, they become narratives because they're backed up by facts. The whole can't win in the cold, lack of toughness, we were soft, as Jordan Brooks said after the loss, coincidentally to the Packers on Thanksgiving night 2024. Now you've got the strong Packers DNA. And Sims made the point back in the 70s, Larry Zonka and company, there was never talk about whether or not they could play in the cold. Hell, they earned their Super Bowl berth in the year that they went 17-0 by going to Pittsburgh. Now, it was 67 degrees that day. It was funny. We were talking about it not that long ago. And I pulled up the weather.
Yeah.
I pulled up the weather for Pittsburgh, December 31, 1972. Unseasonably warm. A record high that still stands in Pittsburgh for that day. So it worked out fairly well. That would have worked out great for the Tua Mike McDaniel Dolphins. But, the point is, and I don't want to pile on Tua now that he's gone, but Sims and I, we were peeling the onion on that point. What the quarterback does in those unsavory weather conditions really does become the guiding light or lack thereof for the rest of the team. And if the quarterback is out there performing, he's in a position where he can demand that the rest of the team ignore the conditions and perform. And both Halfley and Sullivan, in separate interviews, one at the Combine with Halfley and then with Sullivan at the league meetings, they are intent on ensuring that they have a team that is resilient under all circumstances. There is no way to get ready for the cold. You're not going to have a practice in a meat locker like Rocky Balboa, but you can ensure that you have guys who are impervious to whatever Mother Nature throws at you, whatever the opposing team throws at you, whatever the adversity is that you're dealing with. We have guys who we know and we trust will fight through it and not find themselves in a spot where every time it does X, we can't respond. Every time it does Y, we can't respond. That's what the team has been characterized by in recent years, and they are intent on changing that.
Yeah, they've heard it. And by the way, I heard him talk about the heat, and you treat it the same way going up to the cold. It was great. Hey, so Kirk Cousins, $20 million goes to Raiders. By the way, I did not see that one coming, but and whether Fernando Mendoza starts or not, and has to wait for some plays or for some games, we'll find out. But that leaves one guy left here, man. I can't believe this. Tell me the Steelers aren't just waiting on Aaron Rodgers. There's another plan. There's got to be something.
Well, Steelers fans have been apoplectic the past couple of years about the willingness of the team to wait around for a guy that no one else wants. It's one thing if you're waiting around for Peyton Manning. Remember 2012? The Dolphins were in on that. Everybody wanted Peyton Manning.
Right.
He was going off 4 neck surgeries. Everybody wanted Peyton Manning. It was a Reggie White-style free agency tour. Everybody wanted it. Kyle Shanahan was talking about this year how he and his dad, Mike, they were both in Washington at the time. They were trying to get Peyton Manning. Meanwhile, Daniel Snyder traded up to number 2 with the plan of drafting RG3, which short-circuited the whole pursuit of Peyton Manning, but everybody wanted him. Last year, there were a couple of teams that were attached to Aaron Rodgers. The Rams were looking at him if Matthew Stafford had been traded because Stafford wasn't happy with his contract. He had permission to talk to other teams. He talked to the Raiders and the Giants, ultimately stayed with the Rams. The Vikings talked to Aaron Rodgers. They at least considered the possibility of Rodgers for a year while J.J. McCarthy continues to learn the ropes. This year, there's been nothing. There's been nothing. Aaron Rodgers' name has come up nowhere. There was a little rush fire earlier in this week about maybe the Broncos. I believe that's not going to go anywhere. I frankly think some folks in the organization were possibly trying to nip that in the bud before it would become something. And also it's possible that from Rodgers' perspective, they're trying to squeeze a little more money out of the Steelers. Because last year, look at what the Steelers have paid quarterbacks since Ben Roethlisberger left. And in Roethlisberger's last year, they lowballed him and they thought he'd say no and retire, and he took it. Then they drafted Kenny Pickett, slotted rookie contract for a guy who was picked in the 20s, cheap, affordable quarterback. 2024, they paid Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen less than what Mason Rudolph made that year as a backup in Tennessee.
Wow.
The three guys combined made less than Mason Rudolph did to be number 2 in Tennessee. And then last year they get Rodgers for $13 million. So there's a thought that maybe that's part of this push and pull. But the way Art Rooney was talking about it this week, if you watch the video of him talking about Rodgers and what the timeline is and what they think is going to happen, he kind of had that little smile, there's a little confidence. Like, they know. I think they know. And they got the draft coming up in less than 3 weeks in Pittsburgh. You know, you got some fans who aren't real sure about another year with Rodgers. They may use the euphoria of hosting the draft as a way to trot out Aaron Rodgers and hope that at a time when everybody's happy that they're hosting the draft, maybe the fans will embrace another year with Aaron Rodgers. But I know guys in the media there. I'm on 93.7 The Fan every Wednesday. The two hosts there, Pony and Muller, they don't want Rodgers back. I think a lot of fans don't want Rodgers back. But what else are you going to do?
No.
Kirk Cousins is off the board now. If you don't sign Aaron Rodgers, what are you going to do for a starting quarterback in 2026? Joe Flacco stayed with the Bengals. Flacco would have been an alternative if Rodgers says no. They're screwed if Rodgers ultimately says, hey, you know what? I'm good. I'm calling it a career. And how does Rodgers think that this year is going to end up any better than last year? Last year, they made it to the playoffs, and they were embarrassed in prime time. Rodgers' last throw of the year was a pick six. Does he really think it's going to go better this year with a change in coach? When you look at the talent that team currently has, they're going to find out, possibly the hard way. All those fans that were ready to fire Mike Tomlin whenever they'd lose 2 or 3 games in a row, those fans are going to find out that maybe Mike Tomlin was making chicken salad out of a roster that isn't good enough. And this year may be the way they find out the hard way. And I don't know if Rodgers wants to be part of that. Is he at the point where I just want to play one more year, whatever the outcome, whatever it does in the final years of my career? His legacy, now it's not going to keep him from getting in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, but since he left Green Bay, and really since 2021 when he won his 4th MVP, what's it really been like for Aaron Rodgers? It has not been great.
Not good.
So I don't know why he'd want to come back and play another year in Pittsburgh. But what else is there? It's Pittsburgh or nothing. Or you know what it is, Joe? It's the Phillip Rivers plan. It's what I thought Brett Favre was going to do. The Roger Clemens. Remember late in Roger Clemens' career, he signed with somebody like halfway through the season. Maybe Rodgers just decides to sit back and wait for an opportunity to emerge with a contender when somebody gets hurt, because we know it's going to happen at some point.
Boy, I'll tell you what. It's crazy. I'm still sitting here wondering if Aaron Rodgers still married or has ever been married, by the way, with the woman that nobody's ever seen. But anyway, hey, I got to ask you about
He says my wife more than Borat does. My wife. He was on with Mac. They should do a drinking game anytime he does an interview. Not that he doesn't very often. Anytime he says the words "my wife," knock one back, and you'll be unconscious by the time the interview ends.
Guaranteed. Hey, so I don't know if you watch any of the Fernando Mendoza pro day, and then of Ty Simpson, we saw his pro day. All I know is I've never seen a guy have a bad pro day, and I almost can write the story after how good he was and how great he was with the people and his leadership, and had a great throwing. And you're throwing against there with your receivers from college. I expect everybody to have a good pro day for the most part at quarterback. Don't you agree?
One guy had a bad pro day that I can remember. Miami's own Teddy Bridgewater. Took the gloves off.
That's right. You're right.
Took the gloves off, had a bad pro day. The Vikings had a private workout with him right around that same time. He put the gloves on. The Vikings were blown away. They traded back into the bottom of round one and got him. And I don't know what he would have been in Minnesota, because the year that they were very confident he was going to take off was the year that he had that torn ACL in late August, that horrible knee injury that
Right. Oh, it's terrible.
Happened
right.
at a practice on a Monday or a Tuesday just as the season was approaching, and that derailed his career. And he's still going strong. He signed with the Lions again after, the time he spent coaching high school down there. But that's the only bad pro day I remember. It's set up to be successful.
Yes.
There's no defense. You're throwing to guys you've rehearsed it, you've scripted it. If you don't complete at least 95% of your passes, it's a problem.
I totally agree. Yeah. By the way, you haven't changed, right? Mendoza goes ahead of Simpson. Still going to be the one. Mendoza's still number one pick overall.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, look, I understand why they made a full week of content on ESPN. I understand it. As I told you last week, I don't think Dan Orlovsky deliberately said, I'm going to try to stir things up this week. He had an honest assessment that may or may not have been the product of some spin control by the agents who are there to try to get their guys drafted as high as possible. And maybe they succeeded in moving Ty Simpson up some, but there's no reason to think it won't be Fernando Mendoza. They must have said something, though, Joe, to Kirk Cousins to get him to think he's going to be playing this year. I don't know that he's going to play the whole year, but Cousins is the guy that got hoodwinked by the Falcons 2 years ago when they signed into this contract that pays $100 million guaranteed. 6 weeks later, they shocked everyone by making Michael Penix Jr. the 8th overall pick in the draft. Cousins played 14 games that year before they pivoted to Penix. At the end of the day, Cousins made $98.7 million for 22 starts with the Atlanta Falcons, which works out to $4.49 million per game, which is pretty damn good. But the Falcons made a huge mistake that got Terry Fontenot, the GM, fired, got Raheem Morris, the head coach, fired, and got Rich McKay, the president of the team, promoted out of the team altogether.
Yeah.
So all three of the guys who were in positions of power 2 years ago are gone now because of that fateful Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix thing. But Cousins is not going to walk in because he didn't have to sign now. 2 days before he signed, people were saying he's going to take his time. The Raiders had to have said something to him that he believes as to what his status is going to be. And I think he's going to be, barring injury or just a complete and total face plant during training camp, he's going to be the week one starter. And then the question is, how long does he hold that job until they think Fernando Mendoza is ready?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you on that. Hey, 18-game regular season coming. Oh, they're already teasing it up there about some of the things, an extra bye week I heard Robert Kraft's talking about. I don't think it happens this year. Mike, we're 2 years away from seeing 18-game regular season coming?
The window, I believe, Joe, is 2027 through 2020 or 2032. Now, they don't have a date for the Super Bowl in Atlanta in February of 2028. Peter O'Reilly, one of the NFL executive VPs, tried to downplay that this week, said it's not abnormal to be in this position where you're 22 months away from the Super Bowl and you don't have a specific date in place. But he also said not having a date provides important flexibility for scheduling. Well, you don't need flexibility if you know you're doing 17 games in one bye. They always start the week after Labor Day. I pulled out the calendar. I checked it twice. February 13, 2028 is the day for Super Bowl 62. Unless you're thinking about adding an 18th game and possibly a second bye, you can lock in February 13. So, and I know this. I reported this the day after the Super Bowl. They haven't picked the date specifically because they're holding out hope for 2027. So that's the earliest year. I don't know if they get there. They got a lot of work to do to make it happen by next season, not this season, but next. 2032 is the latest it's going to happen because here's how it would go. They don't strike a deal with the union between now and the expiration of the current CBA. The CBA expires in March of 2031. They get locked out, the players do, until they cry uncle and take the 18 games. And if they cry uncle late enough, there's no way they could do 18 games that year, 2031. So it would start the next year, 2032. So there's a 5-year range. We're going to have 18 games at some point between 2027 and 2032. I'll guarantee that one. I'll guarantee that one. Not to the point where I'll do something crazy like get a tattoo on my ass or retire, but I feel pretty strongly that we're going to have 18 games between 27 and 32.
I agree. I'm with you on that. It's going to happen soon. Hey, so the TV deals, you broke it here a couple weeks ago, and you said, well, it's there. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we've already started now to hear it, CBS, Fox, NBC, about these prices are going to get jacked up so much for these apps to come in and take advantage. Are we going to lose? Are we going to get to the point where now that these things can be negotiated again, what happens? What happens to your original partners there with CBS, Fox, and NBC?
Well, I think about this. CBS is currently on the hook to pay $2.1 billion per year through 2029, and the NFL has the ability to pull the plug on the current TV deals after the 29th season. On top of that, because Paramount recently, Skydance bought Paramount, there was a change of control that allowed the NFL to go in and talk to CBS. They're trying to get CBS to go to $3 billion. There's been multiple reports to that effect. Now, not later, but now. Hey, you're due to pay $2.1 billion for the next 4 years. We want to jack it up to $3 billion. And the thinking is they're going to move on to Fox after that. They're going to go to the various current packages and try to get more for what they already have a set price. And where it gets interesting, and I wrote this last night, Rupert Murdoch, who owns News Corp, which owns Fox, which also owns the Wall Street Journal, there was an editorial in the Wall Street Journal yesterday that focuses on the question of whether the NFL still deserves to have a broadcast antitrust exemption, given that it seems to be trying to leverage the streamers to get the networks to pay more at a time when network TV is not what it used to be. Who's watching live network TV for anything other than live sports? And who's congregating to watch live sports other than pro football? That generates huge numbers. And the NFL knows it. And they're putting not just their thumbs on the scale, they're putting both elbows and both feet on the scale to try to get every last penny they can. And this broadcast antitrust exemption, you've got different politicians who have been saying the NFL may be pushing this too far. And you could even argue the broadcast antitrust exemption doesn't apply to anything that you have to pay for. It doesn't apply to cable, doesn't apply to satellite, doesn't apply to streaming. So that's the pushback politically to the NFL trying to go back to these broadcast networks and saying, give us more, give us more, give us more. There's going to be a point where the networks just can't do it.
So how's this play out, Mike? I know the money's going to go up either way. The NFL is going to make a lot more money. That's Roger Goodell's job, is to generate as much money as he can for the owners. How do you see it playing out?
Oh, I think they'll get what they want. Now, will they get everything they want? No. Will they get more than they were supposed to get? Yes. I think the NBA deals really provided the spark for the NFL to say, we want more, because the NBA's deal relative to the popularity of the NBA, it's like, man, wow, look at what they got. I know the moment, this was in 2024, that the first deals were done and the numbers got out, my immediate reaction was the NFL is going to want more. And they're not going to want more later. They're going to want more now. So I assume, because look at it this way, even though more and more people are watching the games when they stream, and that Amazon game, the playoff game between the Bears and the Packers, did over 30 million, you still get more people watching three-letter over-the-air broadcast TV.
Agree.
For the NFL, the balance is grabbing as much money as you can versus getting the maximum eyeballs on your product. The NFL has worked this thing perfectly. Not only do they get a gigantic amount of money, they also have maximum footprint for a 3-hour infomercial that promotes their product that people consume like nothing else. Right. So I don't think they'll be so piggish about it that it'll blow things up and then create political issues and maybe jeopardize the broadcast antitrust exemption. And Joe, that's really the nuclear option for the NFL. If that thing goes away, here's what it means. The league can no longer, if it goes away, go around and sell packages where you're buying whatever games we give you. If it goes away, every team becomes like Notre Dame, where the Cowboys would sell their home games, the Jaguars would sell their home games. And I don't mean to pick on the Jaguars, but come on. There would be a huge difference between what someone would pay for all of the Cowboys home games and what someone would pay for all of the Jaguars home games. and you're going to have a huge disparity in revenue. It eventually, I think, would split the league in two, the popular teams and the not popular teams. And that's the worst possible outcome for the NFL. They have found a way to create parity through sharing revenue, through pulling the games together. They've done it for 65 years now. They can't afford to have that go away, which is why we're seeing folks like Rupert Murdoch trying to push the buttons on the political side to get the NFL to not push this too far. I think they'll work it all out. There's too much money for everyone to make to not work it out.
Yeah. Hey, and finally this, Mike, no contract with a sports book, no official partner there. How's this going to play out going forward now that they don't have that partner, official partner? What do you see happening?
Well, and Joe, this one's interesting because when it relates to the TV deals, there's always somebody else that the league can pivot to as the leverage play, right? If the networks don't want to pay what the league wants, we'll go to the streamers. That's their leverage now. It used to be like back in the 80s and 90s, there'd be one more network than the NFL had packages. Remember when Fox showed up, CBS got kicked to the curb. CBS regrouped, NBC got kicked to the curb. More recently, the NFL's found a way to make everyone happy. When it comes to these sports books, what's the leverage? When DraftKings and FanDuel are the Coke and Pepsi of sports books, what's the league going to do? They're gonna partner with some fringe sports book and try to make Joe's Casino in Topeka, Kansas, into a major player. And how's Joe going to come up with the money?
Right.
So I think what they probably should do is, instead of doing a deal with, and they've had to deal with three, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Caesars, and I think Caesars is going to fall out of the equation altogether. But instead of doing a deal with both DraftKings and FanDuel, let them compete with each other, pick one exclusive sports book, and then every 4 years, the other one gets a chance to knock out the one that currently has it. I think that's the only play that makes sense, because there's no other major player to go along with the Coke and Pepsi of American sports books.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, it's a lot of stuff, Mike. It's amazing, isn't it? Here we are 3 weeks away from the friggin' draft, and there is a ton of stuff going on with the league as always. Mike, thank you. Really appreciate you coming on as always.
Have a great weekend, Joe. Good talking to you, buddy.
You too. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. Talked a lot. God, there's so much stuff going on. Crazy from top to bottom. We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
WQAM
All right, and welcome back here on a Friday. Nobody can mess up your Friday, man, going into Easter weekend. And a happy Easter to everybody out there. I just, you think about that money, Woody? We talk about the money to start the show this morning, that CBS could go from $2.1 billion they're paying right now, and they're trying to get those contracts done right now, talking about going to $3 billion a year.
I mean, I hope they can swing it, because if not, they're going to lose the games to the streamers.
Well, that's their leverage, though.
Yeah. That was really interesting what Mike said about how the sports books kind of don't really have any competition, which they don't, right?
No, a lot of them have died out, right?
Yeah, well, you had Penn, who had the Barstool thing.
That's right.
That was a disaster. Then they went to ESPN. That was a disaster. I mean, you got MGM and Caesars.
I'll tell you, our friends at Hard Rock got a sweet little deal here in the state of Florida.
They do. They sure do.
Everybody I know has got that Hard Rock app.
Speaking of the Hard Rock app,
yeah,
you promised you'd give us some picks for the Final Four. What a day, by the way. Tomorrow you got the Marlins playing the Yankees, the Heat and the Wizards, the soccer stadium opens, and the Final Four.
Yeah.
That's not
Enter
a quiet
Miami.
day.
Congratulations, the Moss family. Got it done. They did two things nobody thought was ever going to happen. They got Messi, and then they got that stadium done, and it's here. It's finally here. The whole thing has come together, and they get Messi to sign an extension to play there for what? I guess 2 years. It looks like he'll play there 2 years.
All right, Joe. So here you go. You got Arizona and Michigan. Michigan, a slight favorite.
I'm going to go Michigan.
-1.5. Okay. And then you got UConn and Illinois. Illinois, the slight favorite at -1.5.
Oh, man, after UConn beat.
Essentially two pick'em games here.
I'll go Illinois. I'll go Illinois.
All right.
I'm a little down.
And you got Michigan winning it all.
I got Michigan winning.
So you got Michigan, Illinois in the final, an all Big Ten final.
Yeah.
And then Michigan winning. Okay.
The dominant conference.
Sure.
They're winning everything. No, I'm just kidding. Well, they are. They did.
They did win
They
football.
did.
Yeah,
They
I
did
had
win
to
the
think
football.
about that for a second. Yeah,
No.
Indiana. Yeah.
All right. So, and then we got, so the Marlins open up against the Yankees tonight for 3.
It's going to be very interesting to see them play.
Well, they're jumping
a team
up.
That's not the White Sox or the Rockies.
Yeah, I was going to say they're jumping up big time in competition.
There was this thing that flashed across the Twitter this morning, and it was like Marlins are leading in these different statistical categories.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, 'cause they've been beaten up on the.
It's all right.
What do you call them? The weak sisters?
Yeah. I think I do say that from time to time. I
just stole that.
I might be throwing.
sorry.
I might be throwing that out there, and then enter Miami. Can't wait to hear from everybody on what the experience is like tomorrow night. There, getting that thing done, and man, we got all kinds of stuff. Just a few weeks away. From the draft, the NFL draft, where the Dolphins got a whole bunch of picks on Thursday and a Friday, the 23rd and the 24th of April. And the Panthers, man, I think everybody thought, they're going to be out of it. When Coach comes on with you Friday, he's going to say, man, he's still pretty much talking about it. It's over. He goes, look at what we have to. He's very honest today. Boy, Paul Maurice was great.
Yeah, our teams have some interesting off seasons, by the way. Like the Dolphins, obviously, they blew everything up. And then the Heat, their offseason, I think, will be very intriguing, don't you?
Yeah, but
they're going to have to do something.
One thing about it, Panthers are not blowing theirs up.
No.
They're getting their doctors to get all these guys healthy. They're going to have, extra month and change off from the playoffs.
But they'll still probably make some moves, you would think, right?
By the way, how many games do you think the Panthers played in the 3 years in playoffs?
Oh, wow.
I have the number.
Oh, you do? 50?
Guess again.
75?
68.
I was in the middle.
68 games in 3 years. 68. You're talking about messing around with almost a full regular season of games.
I feel like when we're talking about LeBron, all those extra games.
He says he's never seen anything like this. Never seen anything close to this. Well, but he's right. Your fans still paying the same amount of money, and you go out and you beat two really good teams that are trying to get better. But one team's trying to get into the playoffs in Ottawa. The other team's in the playoffs trying to move up. and you beat them both. And hey, by the way, they've made it clear, hey, we're bringing the core back. We just hopefully Barkov lays low the offseason. Just get healthy, man. Forget about your country for a while. Just stay healthy. Just come back here and play. We'll be good. That's it. But no, man, that's it's gonna be a fun weekend, the whole thing, and looking forward to watching to see what's going to happen. And before you know it, we'll be talking about playing basketball and the Panthers getting a nice long vacation.
Playing basketball.
I know. That's
become
what we
a
are.
Yearly tradition.
Is this fourth year of that? It doesn't matter. They're getting in. They're
at least 3.
All right.
I don't even know how long the play-in's been around. I think they've been in it every year since its invention.
Have we?
I think so.
I'm not sure. Has it been around
I don't even
4
know.
years?
It's been around for I think less than 5 years, right?
I was thinking maybe we got in on one. I don't know.
It became a thing during the NBA bubble. Remember they tried to get Zion in the bubble?
Oh, that's right.
By doing the
They didn't have good enough food in there. Is that what you're saying? He wouldn't go?
And I think the Heat have been in it every year. I could be wrong, but I think they have.
Did you just finish a Friday fat shaming Zion?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Bad read by you.
He's gotten skinny now. I don't know if you've
I know.
seen him.
I saw the interview he did.
Although Luka got skinny, that didn't help him.
Yeah. Well, he just pulled his hamstring. He's got to stretch more. Got to do more stretching. Hey, man, that's going to do it. Everybody out there, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll try to be better next week when we come back from a few days off. Take care. Have a great weekend, and happy Easter, everybody out there.